Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. We're here, just Eli and I this time. David Roberts has forsaken us, but that's something that he always does, and he shouldn't really expect too much more of him than that. So it's just me and Mr. Eli Hedges who's going to put his Instagram there. I just want you guys to know that we're doing the whole thing, like everything, absolutely everything from start to finish. We started this journey at 4 a.m., to get everything going here in Australia. And yeah, man. So here we are. Very, very excited. Very happy. Congratulations, Ty, for big win. That was pretty cool. That was yeah, man. Ty, very happy, man. Very happy. How do you feel, man? How do you feel about this card?
Excited about the card. I guess it's early here in Australia, so up nice and early, but no, excited. Mixed emotions. I don't know, like it's always when you know people who are on the card and that as well, you always want them to do well. So I'm glad that Ty started off well. That's always a bit of a bonus, but just I don't know, just looking forward to seeing the guys from Australia, obviously Jacob and Rob get a win, and then the main card is obviously everyone in the world's interested about that. So looking forward to it for sure.
If you want unbiased commentary, I was going to say watch the UFC commentary, but I don't know that that's going to be unbiased itself. But we're definitely going to be biased here. Please, guys, what it is if we're here, we're all watching it together. If you have questions, whatever you want, ask. And we'll do everything, whatever we can. So we're all watching it together. It's not just me and Eli commentating. To be honest with you guys, it's just us watching the fight, and we want you guys to watch it. And please, send your messages, comment, whatever you want. And yeah, let's have a chat. What time is it? Right now it's 5 a.m. here. Who asked that? Somebody asked this. What time is it? We're struggling here. I don't know. Somebody asked what time is it here, and it's 5 a.m. in Australia. Sorry, man. There's quite a few people that messaged there. So it started like 1 a.m. or something. That's insane. That's nobody should be up that early. So I don't know. What are your picks then? And you can change them throughout the day. Please, guys, share it as well what you think. I think A-Tech asked, "Hey Fab, are we ready for this, mate?" I'm pretty ready for this, but I'm tired, man. I'm so tired. What do you think of the weigh-ins? Because a lot of people, like I'll tell you this now. If Cannonier wins, it won't be because he outmuscled Rob or he was stronger than Rob or anything like that. He might catch Rob. Of course, Cannonier's a monster, but he won't outmuscle Rob. He's not going to outmuscle him. What do you think about the size and that?
Of Cannonier?
Cannonier and Rob comparatively.
I don't know. They're similar builds. They're both. I don't know. They're similar builds. I still can't believe when I look at Cannonier, remembering him as that heavyweight. He was such a big frame, and now to see him that size, it spins me out how he got down to that weight. But again, probably like you said, I can't see him out muscling him. I just can't see him beating Rob. I honestly can't.
I can't see where he's going to beat him outside of just catching him. I just don't think that Rob's a good matchup for Cannonier, but that isn't to say that Cannonier can't win, But I think when you see them, that also takes away the thing that, he's so much bigger than Rob or stronger than Rob, and he's not. I think size is going to be an interesting factor in this fight, especially when those two guys rehydrate. Phil Hawes and Jacob, that's going to be an interesting one as well, because Phil Hawes is built like a G.I. Joe figure. And Khabib's going to be bigger than Justin.
Yeah, and there's the controversy around Khabib weighing in, isn't there? People are saying he didn't even make the weight, that the scale didn't even tip. So I don't know about that. But yeah, we will see. He's had a lot of trouble making weight before, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's always had trouble. Yeah, making that weight. So I don't know. He will be. I think he will be larger. But in the predictions we talked about, I really thought that Khabib would be able to just monster him, and the proof is in the pudding, and he's taking him down that. But the more and more I look into it now, the more I'm sort of I don't know. Can Justin stop them takedowns and be able to like nullify his takedowns and put it on him? Because Khabib needs to back Justin up. Justin isn't going to back up easy. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to be able to be backed up easy. So I don't know. It's evening out a little bit more for me before, when I was sort of one-sided Khabib, because I just thought the proof was in the pudding of his takedowns and that. But now, when I look at it a little bit more, I just think if he can nullify that and that takedown defense, then yeah, I think Justin could be in for a win, because the uglier it gets too, the better Justin performs. So
I think so. I don't think victory is a foregone conclusion for Khabib. Just I think it's going to matter if Khabib can get him down, put him on his back, and if they start grappling, that's where I think the biggest discrepancy lies between the two, is if he can put Khabib on his back, if Khabib can put Justin on his back.
Yep.
And then that's when you're going to see the greatest discrepancy. But the big weight cuts start to work against you as you start to gas out if it starts to not work. Now, Khabib, that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of the times people get that a little bit mixed up, because they go, no, he doesn't gas, he doesn't this. Now, Khabib's conditioning is unquestioned. You can't say anything about it. But it also, if he's able to hold the people down and beat them up, then you can rest.
Yeah.
If he starts to not be able to get the person down, look, this is the fight this is. Sorry, guys, we're just talking now about. I'm going to change it from Magomed and Cutelaba. You see, so that in that fight he was playing possum.
Yeah,
he was playing possum to the referee, and the referee called it.
It's filthy.
He's absolutely angry. Yeah. Now they were meant to fight a bunch of times, but then like I think Cutelaba got COVID twice and Magomed once. So this fight's been about to happen for a long, long time. And what do you think about that? Because the referee copped a lot of flack for stopping that fight early.
Dude, he looked like he was wobbly.
Mate, he should have given an Oscar.
And if he was, do you know what I mean? Then the referee needs to jump in there and save him. Like, so that's a hard one. I don't think the referee should cop any slack. Like, he proper, just watching it, and if you don't know the story, it looked like do you know what I mean? He was out on his feet. So, no, you want to play that game, you got to take the risk.
And it's well, who you got in this fight? If you have to predict, Cutelaba or Magomed? I think if it gets out of that, that first round, it's going to start to look more for Magomed. Cutelaba's a bit of a monster. He's actually got a decision loss to Cannonier.
Oh, he does?
That's how big of a monster Cannonier is.
Yeah, yep.
You know, but I just feel that it's a different animal. Rob's a different animal.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit too quick, I think.
The funny thing, I just rewatching it there again, like he didn't just play the sort of, you know what I mean, I got hit and I'm wobbly once. He did it like a couple of times. So that's in the defense of the referee. Do you know what I mean? We've seen other people, Anderson Silva and that, when he's got hit and they'll do a little shake like that. Do you know what I mean? They've been hit, but he actually looked like he was wobbly. So, like you said, you know, when Anderson's mucking around and other people have mucked around, that he looked out on his feet. His knees went a little bit.
Yeah, you can't do such a good job that everyone believes it. You know what I mean? Not to that extent. So Roland P, if hopefully that answers your question, I'm going with Magomed in the long run. In the short run, I see Cutelaba can very much stop him, but I just think Magomed's a little bit more complete and a little bit more tidier. These guys have both got really high level. Like, they're both the masters of sport in Sambo, and both of them have very strong grappling backgrounds as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. There's some questions here from the audience. Okay, you guys are legends. Thank you very much, Kaylin Ingerson. You guys are legends. Up at 4 to enjoy the fights. Hey Fab, about the Jacob Malkoun fight, what area would you say is his strongest? What he'll implement in this fight, his grappling or his boxing? Eli, what do you think?
Boxing. Obviously, do you know what I mean? He's got to avoid the takedown and that, but I think he'll have good enough takedown defense, and I think he'll just be on the feet and pepper him on the outside.
I have to say I agree. I think you're going to see outside of someone catching Jacob, and Phil Hawes is a monster, so he can definitely do it. Outside of him just catching Jacob, I think Jacob's boxing is going to be a bit much, and I think it's going to force a shot from Phil Hawes later on in the second or third round, and I think Jacob will finish it with a guillotine. I'd really do. Having said that, if he sleeps on Phil Hawes for 1 second, he's very, very powerful, especially early in the fight. If he lands some big shots, he can stop Jacob for sure, for sure. But I'll go Jacob all day by boxing and then finishing with a guillotine.
Yeah, Phil Hawes, he's 8 wins, 6 of them are by knockout. So
he's a monster.
And then 2 submissions. So he's definitely, he's a high caliber guy. He's not there to make up numbers as well. But again, we spoke about this. I think that Jacob's not there to make up numbers as well. So it'll be an interesting fight.
I think, I know Phil Hawes was a junior college wrestling champion in the US, and that's a big deal. Another guy who he at least was training with is John Jones. He was also a junior college wrestling champion, to give you an idea. Angel Garcia asks, has it started yet? Yes, it has, sir. Yep. Yes, it has. A question here from Brooks says, which is more important, stamina or head movements?
Oh, more important, stamina or head movements? I don't know, defensive head movements or moving your head. It's the ability to be able to slip a punch, and that is important. But if your stamina is not there, how long can you do it?
Yeah, I was going to say my answer to that was going to be, if you don't have the stamina, your head movement's going to go out the window, no matter how good you look. I think one of the best examples I'll probably give you is you look at someone like Floyd Mayweather, who's got such great vision, he's got such good movement, he's everything,
Yep.
But he's also super, super, super fit.
Yeah.
Super fit. And so you watch him train and whatnot, and there's no joke with his level of fitness. If he wasn't that fit, after a couple of rounds, you're not moving. Your reflexes slow down, everything. So they're both of them are. Yeah,
your ability to that little inch, do you mean? If you're tired, that ability to get out of that inch way, it's not effective. So you're going to cop that jab every time instead of stamina. Yep.
I'll just do one before we start the fight from Valeria A. Thank you so much, Valeria, for donating $5 as well. You don't know what that does for this podcast. It keeps us going. Thank you so much. Love this podcast. If it was mandatory to watch only one of Rob's fights daily, which would you choose and why? It should be mandatory in the school system here and in the greater Pacific region. But, Eli, which fight?
I don't know. I always loved the... I went in Melbourne before...
Brunson.
Sorry, the Brunson fight was always one of my favourite. It was the first time I got to watch Rob live. We travelled down there, so I always loved that fight. But I think the Romero won.
That was an insane fight.
Or Romero too. I mean, either of the Romero fights. There's so many fights that if you had to watch over and over again, they're just exciting fights. So, no, I'd have to go Romero 1. I'm going to go Romero 1.
I think that that Romero 1 was probably one of the best fights I've seen, period. But from both guys, Romero 2 was like a blood and guts fight that I didn't enjoy. But the fight that everything worked well, and it's not necessarily the fight to watch, is the Jacare fight. Like, that's one example of everything going perfect and the game plan going perfect. And Jacare, if they fight again, could be a completely different result. So probably Romero 1 or the Jacare fight for different reasons. We're off now, and we have started with round 1.
All right.
So how do we get rid of this one? And put round 1 on? Okay, the Magomed's holding the center. Nice straight, snapping front kick by Cutelaba. And apologies, guys, if I'm not saying their names correctly, because, these are hard European names, man, for someone like myself.
Bob and Barry.
Yeah, John. Didn't grow up with like this. So I see. Right now, Cutelaba looks a little bit more jittery kind of thing to me, and Magomed looks a little bit more composed. That isn't to say that Cutelaba is not super dangerous. They're kind of jostling for the center of the cage, but Magomed always seems to find the center of the cage, a little bit better than Cutelaba.
So he's run early for that bit of a lead kick and then thrown a rear hand. Cutelaba is pushing forward, but he looks a little bit jittery but he's moving. Do you mean a bit of head movement? No, he's throwing a lot of head movement there, making it hard for Ankalaev to sort of get that shot off, that first initial shot off.
This is another problem I see though when you see guys like Ankalaev and Cutelaba fighting here. When Cutelaba's pushing forward, like you said, he doesn't really cut the cage off. He doesn't do a good job of cutting off the cage. So he's following, but he's following him around the cage, which is, no good, especially for someone as powerful as Cutelaba.
It's tiring. It's tiring as well. But is he then trying to stay away from the rear hand of the power hand of Ankalaev, do you mean? Circling to that southpaw outside, trying to stay away from that power hand, but then
you can't just circle. That. You can't just circle.
The amount of, I would love to one time put like a GPS on someone who's just chasing someone circling, and they would cover some distance,
100%.
And just that continuous going forward, having to think about head movement. When you cut the cage off, the pressure that it can put on the other fighter is, do you mean it puts that pressure on them and a bit more stress.
Well, there's only left or right that you can go, or straight forward.
Yep.
If you're following the person around like that, it's not something. There's some really strong exchanges happening now.
There is.
I feel that if the fight gets out of this round, Magomed Ankalaev seems a little bit more composed. He's got a little bit more weapons. He hit him with a good knee then.
Yeah.
Very good knee in the clinch. And Cutelaba's still coming forward. In kind of almost like, I don't want to say like a Tyson peekaboo stance, but it is a little bit of a peekaboo stance. And he's following him.
I feel he's looking for that one shot. I feel like he's sort of chasing that one shot while Ankalaev is, do you mean, he looks a little bit more calm, willing to be there for the 3 rounds and post it out.
If they're, Cutelaba might land this shot or not, but I feel that he's just following him around. He's not cutting the cage off at all.
No.
And I see that being a real...
Well, I think he's trying to get that foot to the outside for his overhand right, come back with that.
But that's all he's doing.
Yeah, that's all he's doing. So Ankalaev is just, circling, just keeping him on that outside and making it hard for him. There's a perfect example there. He's went that 1-1-2, trying to get to the outside for that right hand, and Ankalaev can see it from a mile away and just out of the range. Again,
the same thing again. Yep. Went for the big right hand and Ankalaev was out of there. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go in the first. Oh, straight left by Ankalaev. Straight left, dropped Cutelaba. Cutelaba's up. He's got a chin, but that was a good shot.
Yep, that was just the counterpunch there, wasn't it? When he came into that range, he hasn't been hitting him. Ankalaev decided to stay there.
And he's doing exactly the same thing. And that's the thing, like for both Southpaw and Orthodox, the straight left and straight right are just like the lead lefts, lead rights. Oh! He's out. He's gone. No, he's defending. He's gone. He's gone.
Okay. He's not acting that time.
Yeah. Ankalaev hit him again with that straight left. And that's what I was just saying. Like,
that's that precision.
Yeah, you're both open to the same lead left, lead right. And Cutelaba was just following. And not cutting off the cage and throwing that same overhand right that Ilo was talking about. And, the other guy timed him and hit him flush.
Perfect precision.
There was a couple of questions here. That was a great fight. I did think Ankalaev, so that's... so let me see. So that's the end of the round. Can you... Yeah. So it says here, was Eli a kickboxer? Do you want to talk about your... What do you want me to say? Because you might be shy to talk about your background in kickboxing and boxing.
I was no kickboxer. I would be lucky to kick someone in the upper thigh.
But you did have an amateur boxing career.
Yeah.
Did you fight pro?
No. Not in Brazil. I had fights, but they were dodgy as. But no. I went amateur career. Sorry, I've just taken away the round one. Amateur career in boxing. Did all right there. Got a silver medal at nationals. Obviously not you know what I mean? Everyone wants to get the gold and stuff like that. And then I was only young then, so I had to make a decision whether to keep boxing or play football, and I chose to play football. So that's rugby league for people
I was going to say
overseas who don't know. Yep. So, and I didn't do that great there either. So
now Eli actually did give up the amateur boxing for a rather good rugby league career. He was playing in the junior ranks in Parramatta and Penrith Panthers. But you had a massive accident, where you broke your face.
Yeah. So when I was down playing 20s for Parramatta, I was out one night enjoying a few beverages with some mates after a Penrith game, which we went and another guy from Ballon, Matty Taylor, was playing up there. We went out and then later on that night when we're heading home, just, I don't know, it can happen anywhere. It's not, it just happens. Some young guys just trying to get my wallet and got into a bit of a fisticuffs, and then one of them actually whacked me with a pole. It was a dumbbell, one of them old dumbbells with two screws on it. So they put the metal screws on one end and they just whacked me there and
caved your head in.
Caved my head in. Yep, I had to get plastic surgery done on this eye, and lucky not to lose my eye, but it happens. That's if you go wandering around at the nights drunk, and it would happen anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that Penrith's a bad place or anything like that.
Another reason why head movement's so important.
Yeah.
It says here from Kaylin Ingerson. Another thing I was curious about was Rob's wrestling. Do you believe this is an aspect of his skill set that is still a little bit slept on? Is his wrestling offense still yet to be truly seen? I don't know if it's slept on. I don't know if people don't realize that he can wrestle, and that, he fought Romero when Romero was still implementing his wrestling heavily, and Romero had a tough time taking Rob down, especially outside of that first round. Brunson, good wrestler. He's fought Jacare, is excellent grappler. So he's the skill set's there. I don't know why you would sleep on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I definitely think that it's been proven. He's that he can wrestle. And if you look at his earlier fights, like or anytime he fights someone that doesn't have a wrestling background, he has offensively wrestled them, like Rhodes and a couple of Clint Hester, a whole bunch of other people. Rob has been on the offensive. When people talk about like the Wonder Boy and the Israel fights, like, you got to understand, when you're fighting guys that are that level of strikers and they're long and they have good framing, which I think Israel has probably some of the best framing in MMA, really. You can't just shoot in. You can't just run in and do a double leg. You're gonna eat a flying knee, or he's just gonna pivot. He's got long arms. He's gonna pivot and turn and hit you. And it just happened, man. Israel got up that day, and we didn't get to see other aspects, and Rob to get the timing to be able to start implementing some takedowns and that. But it's people talk like Israel a Wonder Boy, like the Israel and Wonder Boy are fantastic fighters, man. That's what they're planning to do as well, like stop people from taking them down. Thoughts, Eli?
No, again, do you know what I mean? I think you said it perfectly. People don't sleep on Rob's, do you know what I mean, wrestling. I don't think he's shown it before, and I think people don't respect the defensive part of wrestling as much as they do. So if you don't get a takedown, then they say you can't wrestle. But you might have defended, do you know what I mean, 5 takedowns, and you don't get that same respect. So, no, I think the people who know and do you know what I mean, are solid on their knowledge of MMA and that, know that Rob can wrestle. Has he done it offensively as much as defensively? No, but that doesn't mean he can't wrestle.
Like, if you're not from Australia or from countries as part of the Commonwealth, look it up. But Rob, a few years ago now, qualified for the Commonwealth Games in wrestling. So he was on the national team for wrestling. So I think anyone that is going to fight him and would have researched that. So I don't think it's slept on per se. Do you think Khabib would have more finishes and be more feared if he used elbows like the fight against Tavares? That's from No Need. Thank you, no need. Eli, thoughts?
Would he have more finishes? No, I don't think so. He's 28-0, but more finishes? Maybe, but I don't know. He does what he does so well. I don't think, do you know what I mean? Elbows or it's probably that distance, do you know what I mean? Because he's not up real high. He likes to entangle them legs. And from that distance, it's more of a striking, do you know what I mean? You need to use them hands, a little bit more leverage and stuff like that when you're throwing their hands. So, no, I think if he, do you know what I mean, the elbows, he'd be in a totally different position where he'd be in that mount position or up higher on the body where he likes to sit. I feel like that's, do you know what I mean? It's perfect for them strikes with the leverage yourself.
Yeah, I think he got Tavares, if I'm not mistaken, Tavares like in deep half, and it's easier for you to drop the elbows in that position. But it's the way that Khabib ground and pounds, he will elbow you in the face, but it's just not, that wasn't the way that he does it. A lot of the times is tying up one arm. He ties up your legs and one arm, and then that leaves him free to swing the sledgehammer. It's not the same leverage there for an elbow. It says, Subhan Ali says, "Sir, when will Khabib versus Gaethje fight start?" After the Rob and Cannonier fight. So I'd imagine in about 2 hours from now.
I'd say 2 hours.
Pranav Murthy asks, is accuracy more important than brute power when it comes to knocking out a dude?
Nah, I'd say accuracy is more. I would say accuracy is more important. Yes, I would.
100%. Accuracy for sure.
That last fight I feel was a perfect example of
fucking perfect.
Yep.
So, and this will answer John Steam's question. Ankalaev won. So, yeah, for sure, you've got to be accurate. The more power you have whilst being accurate and having great timing, the better. You're going to knock people's heads off. But Conor McGregor is an example of someone with excellent timing, excellent precision, and absolute power as well. So he hits people.
His power is because of his speed and precision. So,
but he hits hard too.
Yeah,
definitely hits hard. You know, and so when you see someone that can put those things, all of them together, man, they hit hard and they hit accurately and they get the timing right and they knock you into next week.
I almost feel like, you know how there's them the little balls that you hit at the, I don't know, at the shows and stuff like that, and it tells you like a power rating of what you hit. There's probably people who can hit that harder than McGregor. Do you know what I mean? In that weight class, but don't have the same accuracy in that and wouldn't
the timing.
Yeah, the timing. And it wouldn't be the same power. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but that precision and accuracy and the timing and speed that creates power, like it. Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that come into it, like just the raw ability to hit someone has a lot to do with your hand size, your wrist size, like a whole bunch of stuff. Interesting thing, man, and this is something that's real interesting. Like Gaethje grew up as like quarterback and pitcher in high school. So not only is he working the mechanic, but just by process of elimination, those people will have the best arms. Like you're going to pick a quarterback that can throw. You're going to pick a pitcher that can throw. So he still swings a little wild, but he's got that power. He's got the damaging, thudding power to hit you. And when he starts to get that timing even better, he's a very dangerous person as well.
It's that arm speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
That he has from throwing a ball and stuff like that. That arm speed when he just loads it up and throws it, the time that it gets from point A to point B is
and he
ridiculous.
throws a little bit unorthodox. He throws a punch like he's kind of throwing a ball, you know?
Yep.
And I find that very interesting. And it comes at a bit of a weird, at a little bit of a weird angle. Let's see. Does Rob have the power to hurt Cannonier from Brew Money? 100,000 billion% he has the power to hurt Cannonier. They both do. That fight, that fight's going to be pretty full on, that one.
You just spoke before about hand size and bone size and stuff like that. I've heard you talk about Rob's, like the size of his bones and that before with the knockout power, and he has.
And again, not just that, Rob, and this is the thing in this fight, it's not does he have the power. The thing with Rob is the speed. You can't, the speed and the timing. So Rob will be standing outside of your range, outside of his range, and you think, you're good, but he'll cover that distance, and he'll cover that distance in unorthodox ways, and the punches are coming, the kicks are coming from different angles, and speed kills. The thing though that happens with that is what Rob does. It is the blitz, and can you catch him coming in? And he has been caught coming in. Till caught him, Israel caught him, Thompson caught him. There's been a few people that have caught him.
Look, Rob is another one with that hand speed, that sort of overhand right. That's not that, do you know what I mean, straight punch that he throws. Do you know what I mean? It's the speed that it gets from A to B, which and then the size, I guess, of his hand, and that which the power comes from. Yeah,
he's a very big guy, man, and he does throw nice straight punches too, but they also loop as well. So it's hard to get a read on it. So that's where I think it's going to be more the problem with Cannonier is, can Rob get in, which I think he will because a little quicker, or will Cannonier get the read and the timing on Rob and be able to hurt him?
Well, looping punches are dangerous because your conventional way of being able to use your hands to block them, while you're used to a straight right hand or something like that, now it's looping and coming over that guard, makes it very hard.
And it can hit anywhere. Like if it hits you in the chin, you're in trouble. Yep. It can hit you in the temple. It can hit you in the soft tissue behind the ear. Anywhere there, like especially Cannonier or Rob, they're very similar, man. Like they're very, very similar in like the size and how they fight and everything. So yeah, man. Let's see if we've got any more. I think if Rob beats Cannonier, does he get the Israel rematch? Sorry, you're from Bernard Offner. What do you think?
100%. I think he deserves it. Whether he gets it, that's going to depend on Israel. I think Israel is such a big name now that he can sort of pick and choose a little bit more of his opponents. Why before coming up, do you mean he just needed? But Israel's hungry and he wants to put a stamp on that, but in his right, I guess he could say, no, I've done that and I want to move on to bigger and better things. I think it would depend on the John Jones fight or moving up to light heavyweight. But I think Rob definitely deserves it, being the champ, and do you know what I mean, just having that one loss and then coming back. But it's the UFC, man. You don't know, like, it's business and money's a big part of it. So we'll see. What do you think?
I think that Rob's definitely within his rights to petition for the fight, and I think Israel being the champ is one that gets to decide that. So yeah. Jack the Ripper says, I'm excited to see Jacob. You all talked about him before, so I'm excited to see what he's all about. He won Asia ADCC trials, right? Yes, sir, he did. He's a professional boxer as well. He had a really good record as a professional boxer. Man, he's a real deal, but the guy's fighting. It's a real deal too.
Yep.
Phil Hawes. I just see that if Phil Hawes can't get him out of there in the first 6-7 minutes, Jacob will be a bit much for him. Like if Jacob can get, like the timing and that'll be very hard, man. Dr. Smurfo says, what sort of crystals did you use to train Rob?
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
I'm a big fan of the crystals.
I generally don't watch it, but I will say this, man, and this is what is dangerous about stuff like that. Is that can you get ready for the banners? This will probably be the last question we answer, but I did want to talk about the crystals because one thing that I will tell you is this, man, and faith. I don't necessarily believe in the crystals myself, not in that way, anyways. But I will say this: I believe in faith, and I believe in prayer, and I believe in all that type of stuff. And if you believe in something and you give yourself to that belief. Like, there's been studies done on placebo, where people run faster because they took sugar tablets and whatnot. So if Cannonier has put his faith in something else, whatever it is, or Rob in something else, or whoever, honestly, physiologically, there'll be changes in your body because it'll relieve your anxiety. It'll help you to sleep better. It'll like lower the cortisol levels. Your amygdala will stop like working as hard. So that's a real interesting thing, man. I don't believe in it necessarily, but I believe that he believes in it, and that's, man, that's if he can put that aside, like people say it's in God's hands. If he can put that to the side and go, look, I'm not in charge of this no more. This is with the crystals. Then it's powerful. Eli, thoughts?
Yeah, I do believe in that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not religious, but people with faith.
With the stuff you've done, you should be, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It is their way of, do you know what I mean, being able to relax and calm down, and also if they think they can draw energy from it, then yeah, that's their way of being able to handle with things. So it's dangerous. I don't know about the eye goggles, but I don't believe in that stuff.
So which ones?
Cannonier, he's been wearing these eye goggles that makes you.
That stop the lights or something?
No. So slows the processing down from what you see to your brain to be able to make your brain, like, I'm a skeptic on that shit. You know what I mean? How everyone went out with them fucking balance bands and shit like that. Like, I'm a skeptic about that stuff. So he wears goggles when he hits pads, and it slows down the processing from what you see to your brain for your brain to be able to work quicker. I guess what it's like someone running with a weight, do you know what I mean? Or I don't know. I think that's what they're trying to do. It looked a little bit weird for me. Skeptic. I'm not into that shit. So I don't know about that. For yourself, I feel like you wouldn't be into that as well.
The girls have started.
Right, sorry,
the ladies have started. Murphy versus Shakirova. Who you got in this one?
I'm going with Shakirova. Murphy, she's been around a fair while. Shakirova's only new to the UFC. I feel that, I don't know, we don't know much about her because she is new to the UFC, but I feel like Murphy is that sort of maybe stepping stone for her to move on to something great. But saying that, Murphy is a veteran in the UFC. She's going to be very comfortable. But I'm going Shakirova.
I like Shakirova's outfit. I like the like, it looks like t-shirt and shorts kind of look. I like it.
There's only a few of the girls. There's only a few of the girls in the UFC that go that way. But with the rash guard and.
So Murphy's pressing and she's holding. Murphy's doing a good job of controlling the center of the cage and cutting off the cage.
Yeah, she's cutting off the cage super well instead of chasing her. But again, orthodox. So she's not trying to get to that outside, not trying to force
She's catching her, though. She's catching her with shots. I think it's going to be Murphy's night, I think.
Okay.
Because she just seems to be controlling that and then cutting. She controls the center and then cuts the cage off. So we're down 3:33 to go in the first round. And, it's interesting. She's doing a really good job of cutting it off, and I see Shakirova kind of throwing one-offs.
But Shakirova still looks comfortable. She's got really good movement. Her striking looks natural. Well, yes. I feel like Murphy still, it doesn't look as natural. It's a little bit forced, and her feet are getting muddled up a little bit with what.
What a nice takedown for Shakirova. She's up though. Murphy's up, but that was a nice low outside single. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, she looks good, Shakirova.
Yeah.
Murphy as well can wrestle in some of her previous fights and that. She's got some takedowns and that, but I don't know. It could be a different level. Again, we don't know too much about Shakirova, but
Shakirova looks like she's coming into her own. She's looking a little bit more comfortable now. Now she's dropping her hands a little bit and throwing nice little jabs from there. She seems to have relaxed.
Yeah. Yep.
She seems to have relaxed, which is going to be interesting with Phil Hawes and Jacob. It's also going to be who out of those two boys settles their nerves quicker in the cage as well.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see.
And they both have had a lot of experience outside of the UFC. Ooh, I like this. These girls can fight, man.
Yeah, Murphy, them little, even though it's awkward, them little inside punches when Shakirova's putting her head down and that, they're just little short ones and that, they're hitting her. So, but she's still controlling the cage. She's making Shakirova really work, but by cutting off that cage, she's got to work extra hard to get out of there.
And you're always, we've spoken about it before, your neural system is always reacting to the other person, and that is very, very tiring.
Putting that pressure on, and then trying to escape when someone's cutting off the cage can put a lot of stress on you, and, it wears you down. Extra stress in any situation really wears you down.
Absolutely, yeah. It's 100%.
I always say it about surfing. Do you know what I mean? Being in the water, as soon as you start stressing, you get tired so much quicker. Big set comes in or something like that, and you know you got to get under each wave. You're just going to get hammered. If you start stressing, then you just get tired so quick. So everyone has their own little things they like to do. I like to hum music to myself. No, honest.
Yeah, I usually just say, where the fuck did I come out of here for?
With firefighting, when I'm in fires, I'll be singing a song.
What song?
Oh, just anything. You know, it could be Another One Bites the Dust. It could be.
She's in on a single. These girls can both wrestle because Shakirova's got a nice single. She's shot in really well.
Oh, them down elbows.
And Murphy's just defending and landing massive downward elbows. Shakirova's having a tough time though, and she looks like she can wrestle. But Murphy
looks strong. Do you know what I mean? She physically looks strong. Yeah.
I think Shakirova's a little bit smaller here, and Murphy's now being held up against a cage by Shakirova. She's got the underhook. Yep. Now they're both tussling. They've got an over and under each, and now Murphy has Shakirova. She's kind of manhandling her, and she's got her up against the cage. I think she's going to set her up for a knee if she can hold her down. Nice push kick by Shakirova to come up off the cage, but she's starting to look like it's wearing on her, though.
Yeah, Shakirova does look a fair bit smaller, doesn't she?
There's 5 seconds to go, and I think Murphy took this round quite comfortably, and Shakirova's breathing a little. She's breathing a little bit.
All right, so round 1 done. Who do you give that one to, Fab?
Murphy by far. Like 10-9, but by far, like not.
Yep.
It was pretty straight. What do you think?
Oh, I think Murphy. She owned the cage. You know what I mean? She pushed forward. She did get her with some nice inside punches and that. So no, I give that one to Murphy. Yep.
I think it was Murphy. It wasn't. And I think it's going to get worse. You know, that's just what I saw from the start of the.
A lot of energy expended by Shakirova there. Do you know what I mean? Trying to escape Murphy from cutting off the cage. She looks so much smaller.
Yeah.
It's one of them fights where you go, are they in the same weight division? Murphy must have pushed hard to cut weight, and Shakirova made it very easy. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Murphy looks good, man. Murphy looks good. Right. And we're about to start the second round, guys, and we're off. 5 minutes in, like 5 minutes to go in the second round. Murphy again holding the center of the cage. And really, she does a good job of cutting off the cage. She really does.
Yep. And it's the thing with cutting off the cage. I always say to the boxers and that you don't have to panic and chase them. It can just be that short, slight little movements going around, and then they start to feel like they're cornered, and it puts a bit of stress on them, and then they need to try to move quickly to be able to get out of there and expend more energy. You don't need to try to really push hard and run around to cut it off. You only need some slight movements to the side. And it puts that extra pressure on.
And it is just a small slide, eh? Yep. Just that little bit of a lateral movement.
Just a bit of a tracking, do you know what I mean? Just go directly across.
I think it must have been addressed in the Shakirova corner because she's getting off. She's not, if you notice just then, when she's coming back here, she's at least at the start of the round, she didn't stay there. But now Murphy is really cutting her off now and keeping her back to the wall. So Shakirova's back is literally on the cage. She's trying to get away from it. But see, in that situation, for those that can see, where it's orthodox versus orthodox, and you're cutting off the cage, you don't walk into them, because then you walk into their range. Stay out of their range and just take one step with your right foot to the side, and you're gonna be cutting off that cage. Just a small step laterally, not like into them diagonally. If you step into them diagonally, you're going to get hit.
Exactly, because that's what a lot of people who aren't familiar with it can do. They think I need to cut off the cage
and get closer.
Yeah. They don't want to get closer. You don't want to get closer. You still want to keep that range of here. I can't hit you, and then if I step in, I can hit you with my punch. But yeah, you still need it. The range is so important.
And she's doing a brilliant job. I think she'll probably finish Shakirova in the third round. There's 3 minutes to go in this round. And I see that Shakirova is starting to get more and more tired. She gets back into the cage. And that neural fatigue, man, of constantly trying to move away from the person and then at the same time, like, reacting to the little feints and all that. Because there's those little feints that start to kill you.
Yeah, no, Murphy's doing a really great job of controlling this fight. She's clinched her up against the cage here.
Double underhooks. She's got double underhooks. She's holding her there. And the takedown. Really good takedown into full guard. And something tells me, I don't know, I don't think that
she submitted to that. I feel full guard. She didn't go, I'm going to try to push hard to get into half guard or get off my back.
Yeah, and she's going for like a arm bar kind of sweep thing. But now she's got her arm trapped underneath Murphy's leg. And I don't think she's going to submit Murphy from the bottom. I got a feeling more that she's much more of a wrestler than she is off her back.
She is trying to move her hips, but it's a dangerous game to play. Do you mean?
Yeah, but Murphy's just squaring off on there. Yep. Murphy's squaring off on her hips, and that's very, very important. She's going to be able to land big shots. Now Murphy's standing up. Shakirova's throwing up kicks. Murphy's stacked her hips and starting to pass. Now she's taken her back. There's no hooks in. One hook in now. Both hooks in. Yep. She's got the back. She's got the arm underneath the chin. I believe she's going to finish this. But Shakirova's fighting well. She's fighting the arms well. It's in. It's over. I think it's going to be over right now.
Yeah, she taps.
Yeah, it's over. It's done. That was great. Really, really. I am very, very impressed with Murphy, man. She was looking so good. So good. And I think that Shakirova has a future. I think that
she definitely does have. Just whether that is her weight class. I don't know if, do you know what I mean? That's, she looks small for that weight class. I'm not sure. She just looked. I feel like nearly 2 weight classes different.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like. But
very big, man.
But she's definitely. You can see she's got some skills.
So that was the end of that one.
All right.
That's the end of that fight. And so can we take this? Sorry, guys, it's just me and Eli doing this.
Yeah,
we're doing a fantastic job. I'll do this part. So we're going up to the top here. What's the deal with Jacob Malkoun? I can't say I've seen him fight before. I'm just curious as what to expect from him. Is that the Aussie bloke? This guy does Jacob Malkoun's a real deal. I can't tell you he's going to win for sure. I was with him for many, many years. Professional boxer, undefeated as a professional boxer, undefeated in pro MMA. And winner of the Asian trials for ADCC, which is a big deal for grapplers. So he's very, very, very qualified, very, very and experienced. You know, the guy's fighting Phil Hawes is very good as well. Though I think in that first round, it's going to be anyone's fight. I think Phil Hawes' power might be and athleticism might be a little bit hard for Jacob to get the timing off in the first round. But in the second and third round, I think Jacob's boxing and grappling is really going to take over. Phil Hawes is a national junior college wrestler champion. So, you know, it'll be a tough fight. He's very, very, very powerful. He hits super hard, but I don't think that he'll be able to implement that on Jacob.
He's a character too, Jacob, isn't he?
He is, man. I don't know. I don't know how much of his personality we'll see in the UFC, but he is a character. He's definitely a character. Does Ralph have the power to hurt Cannonier? That was a question from before. He definitely does, which we've spoken about. Prasoon Pokral, thank you, man. We all love back to Nepal as well. And let me see if there's Fab's chin knocks you out from Pam out of nowhere. I've actually got like a little chin.
Yeah, I thought if anyone was going to bag a chin, it would.
Okay, so that was the other one. Fab, this is from Hassan. This is my friend in Birmingham.
Yes, the Birmingham brawler.
Yeah, he's got a... Yeah, so Hassan Ahmed, Fab, what round do you think Rob will stop Jared in? I reckon Rob will stop him in the second round. I think that Jared... But here's the thing, man. Like I said before, I think Rob will stop him. But it's one of those fights, man, where either one of them can stop the other guy. The only reason I think that Rob might get him first is because the onus on the counterpuncher is a lot. Like you have to really catch him when he's coming in, or you don't know when he's going to blitz. You know, so you kind of think. So I kind of give Rob the advantage on that one. I think Rob's a little quicker. And when Rob blitzes, he can blitz into striking or into wrestling. And I think a Cannonier doesn't have the length and the lateral mobility that Israel and Wonder Boy have. And he doesn't have the jiu-jitsu that a Jacare has to make Rob not take him down. So I see that that's going to allow Rob to be able to emphasize his offensive wrestling. But Cannonier, the one thing I will say, though, if he hits you, dude, and he hurts you, there's no forgiving. He's gonna really hurt. I think he'll finish you there. That's the only thing I see there. What do you think, Eli?
Rob, third round. I'm going.
Why do you say that?
I just feel. I think he would just I feel the first round, people will just be trying to find their distance. Cannonier will be looking for them leg kicks. I feel like Rob will be a little bit cautious on the outside, moving around, just stinging him with them singles. I think the second round they'll start to open up a little bit more. Rob will start to find his range, and I think the third round is when he'll start to land a lot more. So I'm going the third round.
I think there's a question here by Michael Kavitsia. Lauren Murphy's opponent was changed recently due to COVID. How does that affect the fight camp?
Fab, you would know more about that.
Man, it affects a fight camp if say, for example, my opponent got COVID, they're out, and now I'm preparing for a completely different opponent. It affects, but you try and do the best you can. You know what I mean? You try and do the best you can regardless. So it will affect, yes, it will, but you'd want to be implementing your strengths to that person. It'll affect the other person more, like the person that got the call up late, you know what I mean? It'll affect that person more because but a lot of the times I think if you cannot personalize it, if you cannot have that person's name in your head as much, sometimes that helps. Sometimes you just go and whatever happens and you don't have the time to get really, really nervous. It's a bit of both. What do you think?
Yeah, there's obviously skills that you need to worry about. What someone brings to the table. You could have someone who's, I guess, a perfect example would be Phil Hawes. Do you know what I mean? You know, comes from a wrestling background, or skills would definitely play into
100%.
It. But I do agree on you when you say don't overthink the opponent. Do you know what I mean? If you start to get into your own head and overthink that opponent, I think you can start to make it a little bit too personal, and then your emotions get involved, and then so I think. I don't know, it's a hard one. Some people probably perform better just off the drop of a hat than others, do you know what I mean? Because they overthink it and you can think yourself out. Why others, do you know what I mean, need to have that process, need to make that enemy, need to be able to, do you know what I mean, fixate on someone to be able to, do you know what I mean, go in there and perform. I don't know, like, I for some reason, I like things to spare out of the moment. I'm not a fixate. I'll fixate on things and go through my head, and probably, you know what I mean, and other people probably do it as well. You can beat yourself in your head before you fight someone. Do you know what I mean? If you go through all the scenarios of how you win, then you're probably going through the scenarios of how you can lose as well. Well, if it's just out of the spare moment, do you know what I mean? You go, all right, this is just got to happen.
You know, it's funny, like, I was never any good at a lot of stuff, but a lot of times when, like, I've had to go for a trial for sport or go to a competition, even for grappling or whatever. And sometimes, like, I do best when I hadn't really thought about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's like Thursday and the cutoff is Friday to put your name in for a competition on Sunday. And you go, fuck it, I'll just do it. And you don't even cut weight or go even a weight division above.
Yeah.
You know, and like, maybe I don't get tapped in the first round, I get tapped in the second. But still, it's better than what I would have done. Sometimes it's like that. I don't know.
I've done exactly that before. One time in Brazil, I said I wasn't going to compete in this. It was the Baianas. I said, no, I'm not going to. And I actually went out and drank the night before as well. I rocked up in the morning. I just said, yeah, I'm going to compete. I'm going to go as well. So we could register in the morning. Went there, did pretty well. Got a silver medal. Got my ass handed to me in the final. I think I got pointed up by like 20 points or something. But still, I made it to the final.
But long term, I think it's not good. Like, you're not going to get good results that. But sometimes it is good. That's what you need.
Can we just about this fight here, Fab? Can we have a little yarn about this? What are your thoughts on Anderson Silva and Uriah Hall?
I don't know, man, because I think it's one of those things, man, like where these are two guys that have their fight styles.
Yeah.
They rely on reflexes,
And
right?
Yep.
And the problem with Anderson, the problem here is I think that whilst Uriah's have dropped a little, his reflexes and whatnot as well. He's a little younger than Anderson, but Anderson has been fighting and he's had time to kind of change his style to work with the fact that his reflexes have slowed down, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
I think that it'll probably be Anderson, I think.
Yeah.
I think it might be Anderson. I think that but you know what? I don't know. I'm interested to see it. Hold on. I'm just, if you'll excuse me for 1 sec.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll quickly talk about that fight as well. I've said it openly plenty of times. Anderson Silva.
I've said what I wanted to say.
Anderson Silva is definitely he's my all-time favorite fighter. Watching him back when he was on that tear and that, all-time favorite fighter. I have the most respect for him. For me, he's the GOAT. Like, do you know what I mean? He's the greatest ever of his time. What he did, and that he was the first to, do you know what I mean, even change weights and beat up people. I absolutely love him. But I've said it plenty of times. I feel like Anderson should retire. I felt that he should have retired a couple of years ago. Retire on that high, on the top. That's how I would have liked to see it. They're going through his career now. Some of the things he did, do you know what I mean? It's just, but then you got Uriah Hall, who's like a young, strong version of him that I feel hasn't lived up to what he could live up to. Uriah Hall, he's an absolute machine, and I don't know whether that's something mentally or it's something that he just hasn't found the right place, but Uriah Hall, it just came up now. Uriah Hall is middleweight ranked number 10. I can't believe that. Like, if you're trying to crack the top 10 and you have to fight Uriah Hall to get into the top 10, he's a top 4 fighter, but he's just not in that spot. But yeah, I feel Anderson Silva, love him to death, but I just feel he's an older version. Obviously, he loves fighting. I don't think he's doing it for the money. He's got huge, you know what I mean, sponsorship deals. He's had huge sponsorship deals with Nike, Burger King. So I don't feel he's doing it for the money. He must be doing it for the love. But I wish he would have just retired when he was on top, or just, do you know what I mean, after he got beaten and then came back and had some good wins. And yeah, that's my thoughts on that. You didn't get any of that, Fab, but I'm saying I think you're right.
Trust me, I've heard it before.
Yeah. No, because in my opinion, Anderson Silva he's my favourite fighter and he's the best ever.
And so who do you think?
No, I said, but I feel like he should retire, and I think Uriah Hall is very dangerous. You know, Uriah Hall is ranked number 10 at middleweight. That's so stacked then, if he's number 10. Because I feel like Uriah Hall hasn't lived up to what he potentially could be.
Yeah. Or maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because there are some killers in that division, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and maybe sometimes what happens as well is you just come along at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe. I don't know. Dr. Smurfo says, is it fair to use performance enhancing crystals in?
I like that one. I don't know. Have you ever got into crystals?
No.
I have my mum's a bit of a hippie too, so she's the crystals and stuff like that. And there's Crystal Castle up the North Coast. Anyone's up there, go visit it. Shout out to the guys. Oh, it's like a place where a lot of crystals and that are there, and I guess the hippies of the North Coast again draw energy from it. They have one big crystal that you go stand in. It's like a big cutout, and you can go stand in there and draw energy. And then they also use crystals, like the crystal bowls and that, and they get the little thing to make the noise, and people chill out, that type of thing. It's actually it's a beautiful place. You go up there, Crystal Castle. It's up in the mountains, sort of near Mullumbimby, at the back of Byron Bay. Beautiful place. Really nice food, nice people. Yeah, so anyone up on the North Coast and they're into crystals, go to the Crystal Castle.
I have a question here. People are talking about the weight cut. What do you think?
On which weight cut was it? On Khabib's?
Yeah.
I've seen the scale, and what everyone is arguing about is because it needs to come off that bottom.
Yeah.
The lip needs to come off that bottom one for it to be able to make weight, and it did not look like it moved. And the guy just it didn't look like it moved, and then he just went, "Yep, weight's on," and you seen Khabib look surprised. Do you know what I mean? Because he was looking at it like, this ain't got to move, and then he looked surprised. So that I don't know. That was I don't know. These guys are professionals as well. They know everyone's watching. So he might have seen it move. We didn't see it move, and he makes weight.
Yeah, man, for Khabib not to make weight and them to not have the fight, that's not going to happen.
True that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not saying that that's the case, but I'm saying he's not got that. Like I don't know, unless he weighed, 205 or something.
Yeah,
that fight's gonna happen. You know what I mean? That fight's gonna happen.
Well, the fight would have still happened, but it wouldn't have been a title fight. Is that what?
I don't know.
But Gaethje, I feel like Gaethje's going to go fucking. I don't give up.
He weighed in at the start though. He weighed in first, so he had 2 hours after that to make the weight.
Okay.
But then I do think people don't understand. Yeah, Khabib might be bigger, but dude, it does have an effect.
Yep.
It does have an effect on you, especially, and I said it before, especially if he can't get Justin down. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm saying to you, if he can't get Justin down, the weight cut starts to affect.
Yep.
I feel like from Artec, it says, I feel like we've heard a lot of great things about the up-and-comers from the camp, especially Jacob and Izzy Fitikefu. Is Izzy on his way to the UFC too? Well, Izzy
weighed in.
Huh?
Izzy weighed in as a backup.
Yeah,
in case anyone got ill or injured. There. He's there. Yeah, he's on the radar.
Yeah, and he's got all the belts from Australia, from like that. So he's right there. And one thing about Izzy, if he hits you, you stay hit.
Yeah,
if he hits you, you stay hit. Like he hits super hard.
Yeah,
and from different angles, because he's got little T-Rex arms. He's built like a little esky, and so like when he's in there and he throws, like you might be just got out of a clinch, and he just throws that right hand or the left hand, and he'll hit you, and you're fucking gone.
I think it was like 3 fights ago, the one at Punch Bowl. I thought we were all going to get caught in, do you know what I mean, and have to put in for a murder. Do you know what I mean? That overhand right. But then down in Melbourne, before the Rob fight, I think it was on internal, he showed off his grappling skills as well. So he's all rounded. He's
very well rounded.
Izzy definitely, I feel, will maybe the next Fight Island. I'm not too sure. Next time one of these guys fight, I feel he'll be on the card as well.
And Jacob's coming. He's making the walkout and he's singing. And just letting you all everyone know, that's one thing he can't do is sing. So I'm glad I can't hear it. This is going to be a good fight. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? Jacob's my jiu-jitsu coach. You know what I mean? You've known him for how long?
Oh, years.
From the start, yeah.
From he was a kid.
Yep.
So he was a kid.
It's exciting for both of us to see him fight. Props to him. Do you know what I mean? He's really worked hard, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Put in the hard yards to get there. He's one of them guys who have just turned up, grinded.
That's Izzy there. That's Izzy with it says Alex Justin and Izzy. Izzy's the person that looks like he's as tall as he is thick.
And I'm sure he has a huge smile as always underneath that.
Yeah, he's I'm really looking forward to this fight. This division is super, super stacked. I think look for this fight to be very in the first round, it's going to be very interesting. Can Phil Hawes put the power on Jacob? I'll tell you now, it's not something that Jacob hasn't seen before. Izzy Fitikefu is very similar to Phil Hawes.
True, isn't it?
Very, very similar. I'd say that
power.
Yeah, Phil Hawes is better wrestling, and Izzy has better boxing. So it's actually he's seen that. He's seen all of that before. If Phil Hawes can get his game off and and hit Jacob with big power shots at the start, maybe. You know what I mean?
It's a fight, and he's not. Do you know what I mean? Phil Hawes is not there to, like I said, make up numbers.
Yeah, no. He's not there to make friends, man.
Yeah. So, very interesting. It's going to be. We've got to remember that we've got to call the fight because we're so invested in it. Yes. We're both going to just want to watch it and enjoy it, but we got to remember that we've got to try to not be biased, which that's not going to happen.
My apologies, guys, in advance, because we are going to be fucking biased. So I actually like Phil Hawes, with stuff that I've seen as well. But it's just that he's fighting Jacob. That's all. So he's a minus 250 favorite. So I would say so. That's. I don't think that's anything against Phil Hawes. I just think that this matchup, he has to land the big shots at the start to put Jacob out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to get really, really difficult with the boxing. And we're about to start round one.
So straight away, Phil Hawes needs to establish that distance and try to get inside of that range, I feel, in that sort of mid-range to try to get them large strikes off.
Yeah.
While Jacob is got to get his jab off, keep it distance, try to pepper him from the outside. Straight away, Phil Hawes is trying to own the center of that cage, put pressure on Jacob.
Oh, he's rocked Jacob.
Yep.
Oh, no, fuck. Ah, fucking hell. Fuck. And that's what I thought. The big shots from Phil at the start. And Jacob couldn't get his game off. I'm fucking crushed, dude. Fucking please, I have to get this off my face. I'm fucking
not much better putting.
Sorry for my lack of professionalism.
Yeah, that hurts. Like when you know someone like that really hurts.
And
my little girl's wrestling coach. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I'm fucking heartbroken, man. I am fucking devastated.
Yeah, that first sort of right hand got him behind the ear, and then after that he was just sort of getting chased down. Hawes did a good job of just continuing with them looping strikes. He was in that mid-range, which he got backed up against the cage. There was not much he could do. That is devastating.
Congratulations to Phil Hawes.
Very well done.
Congratulations.
Very well done. Man, he did what he had to do.
Man, I'm not, sorry for being disrespectful. If it's come across as disrespectful, I was going for Jacob. I'm fucking heartbroken, man. I am fucking devastated. Congratulations to Phil Hawes.
He did exactly what we said. If he needed to win the fight, that's what he needed to do. Round one, go out there, put on the pressure, make them strikes count, and unfortunately, great job for Phil Hawes. Do you know what I mean? Well done. Really well done. Jacob's up. He looks fine. Do you know what I mean? He's obviously. It sucks. It sucks because he still has a big future in front of him.
I'm just texting him now.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking...
Yeah. That hurts, but again, that's the fight game. And that's what makes the fight game so interesting. I feel like it's at any time the person you love or do you know what I mean? It can bring you up to the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows. The bottom of the lows. Sometimes when you lose and people you know lose, that's what happens. And as a coach or a fan or anything, you need to be able to deal with them losses and embrace them wins. So congratulations again to Phil Hawes. 9-2 now. I think he's undefeated in the UFC. But congratulations to him. Did what he had to do. What do we have here? Some questions. I think someone mentioned before, looked like he had a broken jaw. I don't know about a broken jaw. I thought he might have had a cut top lip. I'll have to have a look at it again, but hopefully not. Yes, it's when he went with that left hook on the jaw. That's the one that put him down bad. But he sort of caught one behind the ear earlier that made him stumble a bit. And then it was that, and then he followed up with that right hook and then that down punch. So, very good job. from Hawes. What else do we got? Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, it happens. It's a fight game. Jacob's in there. He knows. Do you know what I mean? When you sign the contract, you know the deal. You're in there to win, but there's a possibility you can lose. And again, that's the fight game, eh? Do you think Jacob will get another shot? Yeah, I do feel he will get another shot. Do you know what I mean? It's his first fight. We've seen plenty of people go out there in their first fight, and no, I feel he definitely will get another shot. They didn't put him in the UFC just for a test run. Do you know what I mean? They know he's got the talent, he's got the skill. It can happen, man. You can get caught. So, yes, I do feel that Jacob will get he'll get round 2 in the UFC. Where is Robert Whittaker? Doesn't he normally watch with you guys? Robert Whittaker's fighting tonight, so we would love to have him on. It might be a little bit awkward in the back warming up, getting wrapped up, but yeah, Robert Whittaker is fighting tonight. So he's over there in Abu Dhabi at the moment, preparing. He'll be on in what?
Couple of fights.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
One more fight, and then
I'm a shit podcaster. I'm fucking biased, and I'm fucking devastated. I'm fucking devastated. Honestly, can't keep my emotions in check like a little fucking girl. I'm sorry, guys. Honestly, I'm fucking genuinely fucking sorry.
But they're the highs and the lows that you have to face being a fan or a coach or anything. Like I was saying, I was on a huge high. You know what I mean? Tie winning by knockout and that on a huge high, and then that happens and you go on that low. So that is the fight game.
Sub Tenzin says, "Where is Robert Whittaker?
Yeah,
Doesn't he normally watch with you?" Yeah, you want to go get him from out the back?
Yeah.
Max Bouvray says, "Man, I'm sorry, guys. Thanks, Max. Man, I appreciate it. Fucking congratulations to Phil Hawes, deserving. Seems like a gentleman as well, like an absolute gentleman.
Showed concern.
Yeah, man. I'm like I said, I'm super biased, and I'm fucking, I'm devastated. But we all know the game. Everyone knows the game. But honestly, it's also like, it's good, I think, for people to see like that. You fucking feel that when your guy loses, you know what I mean? When someone like when it's someone you're going for and you really like him and you follow that fighter, you feel it when he loses. But when you know someone, I've known Jacob since he's a kid, to see him get hurt is fucking like it's the worst, man. The fucking worst. You care for the boys and the thing is, man, then you got to empathize. The other teams are the same. You know what I mean? You spend so many hours and so much time together, and
well, it only goes into your thought process when it affects you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't care when the other guy loses because I'm happy because my guy won. Do you know what I mean? Or the guy that I was backing won, or my team won. So I don't feel the fans' pain until it affects you. And then, you have to go through them same emotions. Fight game. Sport in general. Someone has to win. Otherwise, it's not interesting.
Yeah,
everyone got participation awards and at the end, and it was just, all right, everyone did a good job. Here's your participation awards, but we have no winner, then we wouldn't be interested. So we come for that. We thrive for that feeling of, do you know what I mean? Achievement or disappointment, and
So Francesco Bartucci says, when I saw him backing into the cage, any comment? Man, like we said at the start, like Phil Hawes has to do that. That's how if Phil Hawes is going to win, he's going to win by being the monster that he is and hitting Jacob. And he did that. He was able to, jump on it as well. The other thing I said as well was it's going to also matter who's going to get past those jitters first. And Phil Hawes, credit to him, was able to do it all. I don't know. Maybe a lot of that has to do with how much they wrestle as well in the US, like how many wrestling matches he's had, like to win nationals at that level. Like he's been on big stages as well. Maybe that's helped as well. But when you get two guys like that, one guy pounced on the other guy earlier, and he's got the physicality to do it, and you weren't able to see Jacob's skills. It's hard because in those first 3 minutes, I'd say, a lot of rules go out the window as well. Like, he can fight like that. He can barge into Jacob. He can throw those power shots. That's what I was saying. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen like that. It's hard to do that over 3 or 4 rounds. What do you think?
Yeah. Again, we knew exactly what he had to do. I think Phil Hawes, Jacob tried to get out of the way. He did a really good job of cutting off Jacob, but also Phil Hawes wanted to be in that range of striking. So he wasn't just cutting off and trying to put on that pressure. He's cutting off and getting in that range and then throwing them strikes, which made it very hard for Jacob. And that's what he needed to do. We talked about it, and he executed that perfectly. His team obviously knew exactly what they needed to do. And
it's who gets off first like that, you know what I mean?
Yep. The what ifs, yeah.
Yeah, can do forever. So Vin 941 says Jacob won ADCC with a brown belt. He actually won it as a purple belt. He didn't win ADCC. He won ADCC Asia Trials. What do you think about his MMA skills? His MMA skills are fucking really good, man. It's just, you lose fights, man. People think it's like, I'm not saying you think this, Vin. I'm saying, but people think it's a game, and only your guy gets to win because you like him and he's a good guy. And nah, man, the other guys are going to try and kill you. If you don't have emotions on the line for your fighters, then you should stop being a coach. Yeah, I think so. But I think as a coach, like, I wouldn't act like this if I was in Jacob's corner, you know what I mean? But as a coach, you do have to have emotions, but you're the one that has to control your emotions.
Yeah,
if you're not controlling them, the other guy is fucked. But yeah, I agree with you. There's coaches that I look at them and I think, dude, like, it's like you're working at the checkout, you know what I mean? Like scanning, like you can see it. There's nothing, not money, not anything that can replicate genuine connection, I would say. What do you think, Ella?
Yeah, no, I agree. You're invested in your fighters. Do you know what I mean? It's nearly like they become an extended family. You spend that much time with them, you put that much energy into them. Of course, you're invested huge into them. So emotionally, you're invested incredibly into them. But again, like you said, you couldn't act like that if you were over there because they've just went through something.
It's really about tough.
Them. So just like you need to be there for them. Do you know what I mean? It is about them. So you have their best interests in mind. So you're there to be able to, do you know what I mean? You know, you're not going to walk out and go, what the fuck were you doing? Do you know what I mean? You should have kept your head. No. You go, man, that's the fight game and this is what happens. Yeah, so it's tough, man.
And you got to, the other thing is, like, say, for example, and Pranav asks here, was it too much respect an issue in the fight? No, like, they were just fighting, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is with people is, like, people want this explanation, like, again, an explanation that exonerates you of any responsibility to what you signed up for. And what you signed up for is a fight. And in a fight, anything can happen. You can get your head caved in, and it's not going to be all rainbows and unicorns. Like, you're going to lose sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes it's not your day. And if you want to make excuses and you want to say, like, oh, in this training camp, this happened and blah, blah, that's also not good, man, because, like, when you fight someone and you beat them into oblivion, you don't give a fuck if that person didn't sleep the night before, if his wife is sick, you don't care. And you take the win and you celebrate. And so when somebody beats you up, you don't want to hear it. Like, man, they beat you because it was their night, and that's it. What do you think?
No, 100%. It was their night. He could have missed them a couple of times. Jacob could have got back on the outside. That's the fight game. That's what happens. Do you know what I mean? In sport, it could be one pass, one little thing that can change it. And unfortunately, with the fight game, it's a punch that can put you to sleep.
100%.
So that's how it goes. And again, I say it, I hate this feeling of of knowing someone that loses, but when you win and they put in that hard work, it's worth it. I don't know.
Says D1 and only says, how do you think Jacob losing like that would affect Rob in the back? It will affect.
Yeah.
It will have an effect, but what that effect will be, I don't know. We were talking about that like with Khabib and his father passing. It will definitely have an effect. What that effect will be and how it will manifest itself, I don't know.
He could use it as energy like the crystals. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He could
yeah.
go, well, fuck that. I'm going out here and, do you know what I mean, performing to my best. So, yeah, but it can have the opposite effect as well.
Yeah, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I really don't know. Sometimes, and this will sound, and I'm not saying this is what Rob thinks, but sometimes your teammate losing will take the pressure off you. Sometimes. Not, and I'm not saying I think like this, I'm not saying Rob thinks like this, but I'm saying like if you got on a team and if three of your guys win and you're the last one there's a pressure on you to win. You don't want to ride the bus back and you're the only one on your team that lost. So it can have an effect like that, or it cannot. It could take the pressure off Rob. It could put more pressure on him. It's not going to be pleasant, I'll tell you that much. There's no way that's going to be pleasant. It's funny, I know that you're saying this in jest, but don't worry, Hamzat will bring revenge to Phil Hawes from sub Tenzin, and it's not. You know what the thing is? Like, I don't have anything against, and I know you're saying it in jest, I'm not thinking, but I actually don't feel anything against Phil. Like,
no, I still like him as a fighter.
And as a person, he seems like a great guy.
Yep, so.
It's just he was fighting Jacob, and so I was going for fucking Jacob, and I would be going for anyone that's for Jacob or Izzy or Rob. I'm always going to go for them unless they're going to fight each other or something stupid like that. But I'm fucking devastated, man. I'm devastated, and I wish Phil Hall's the absolute best, man. Tommy LeBlanc says, "Pip pip, golly good show." Thank you, sir. Subhan Ali asks once again, Khabib fight time, please. I think it's going to be in about an hour, give or take. Now, Buster Keaton says, why would it affect Rob? For fuck's sake, of course it won't. Like I said to you, I think it will definitely affect him. How it will manifest itself, I don't know. Rob's very, very close to Jacob. Like, very close, like we all trained together and whatnot. Bam, out of nowhere, man, I don't know when they're going to fight. I'm just guessing it'll probably be in about an hour and a half. Yeah, I believe that it'll benefit Jacob in the long run. So everyone's asked that. I've already answered that, whether I think it's going to think. Do you see any scenario where Rob doesn't get the next shot if he wins from AY? What do you think?
Yes, I see plenty of scenarios where he doesn't get the next shot. I feel Israel's the champion. He can pick and choose at the moment. He's such a huge name. He sort of went from there's the champions, and then there's the champions with such a draw card where they can start making the decisions. I feel like he's at that stage where he can start making them decisions. If John Jones chooses to fight him, he has that fight there, which is going to be a huge money fight. Other than that, I think other than the John Jones one, Rob is the next one there. He deserves, obviously, if Rob wins this fight, he deserves the next shot. But Israel's at a stage in his career where I think he can pick and choose a little bit more. And I feel, of course, I'm going to be biased, but Rob is the biggest threat to Israel's crown. So.
Yeah, but if I was Israel, I'm playing devil's advocate here because I do think, yes, absolutely, Rob should get the next title shot. But if Hermanson beats Till and he beats him in a devastating fashion, then Hermanson would get a say as well. He lost to Cannonier, don't get me wrong, I know that. But he hasn't fought Israel.
Yep.
So it could be, I don't know. So there are scenarios. That's a question, not whether I think he should or not. It's whether there's scenarios. The Volkov fight's about to happen now. So Walt Harris is walking out now. Mohammed Hamza says, "You're from Australia." Yes, we are, Hamoudi. Yes, we are. Yeah, Khabib has lost. Yeah, so Yeah, and I do agree that it depends how Rob wins too, if he wins.
Yeah.
You know, if he wins. It's not easy, man. Victory is not foregone conclusion for anyone. This fight's interesting. Who you got? Harris or Volkov?
I'm going Walt Harris by knockout.
How, in what way?
I feel that, again, it's that stylistic of that shorter fighter with that overhand right, being able to get into that distance. But again, I don't know. Volkov can put you out with a jab. Like, he's got some serious power, which I've underrated before, and then he's went out and proved me wrong. So, I don't know. It's a tough one, but I'm going Walt Harris. I don't think I've been right tonight.
You're not right.
Except
You're
for
not right
Ty.
often. You're not right often.
Ty, I was back in Ty.
Yeah. I'm fucking devastated.
But I feel the same thing I thought with Ty. Do you know what I mean? With Stu being that taller fighter and him getting in that inside range of that overhand right and that. And I thought that was going to be a bad matchup. And I feel this could be similar. Let's see. What do you feel, Fab?
Volkov has shown good stuff against some good people in the past. It's hard. But Walt Harris, and this is one of the things that I find interesting with heavyweights, is he was a very good basketball player.
Walt Harris.
Yeah. And so I find it really interesting when you see heavyweights like that, because it there's not a lot of great athletes. Like, a good athlete at heavyweight makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The same way that if you get like in the lighter weights, if someone hits real hard, they make a big difference because the little guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they there's a big difference. And I think with the heavyweights, that's one of the big things. Like, the guys that are good athletes across the board, they can show a lot of different promise, like a lot of different versatility. I'm just trying to see here what it. Yes.
Walt Harris has had a bit of a mix.
Well, Harris has, but this is why I think Volkov might do it. He was winning that fight, or very close to winning that fight against Derek Lewis, until Derek Lewis knocked him out in the third round.
Yeah.
And I think on that, like, you know, I think he might do it. Walt Harris is a good athlete though, and he's got a bit of a boxing background. So yep. I can't call this one, to be honest with you.
It's obviously added to his back tattoo, is it?
And that's important.
Yeah.
You know, I think but these are huge guys, man.
Yep.
These are massive.
That's
dudes.
how knockout. I'm hoping for a knockout, but is that a total change of his back tattoo? Did he not have like a manta ray or something on his back before? And now it's a big Japanese samurai.
I don't know.
Sorry to
I really
go
don't know.
off the fighting, but I don't know. I thought he had like a manta ray or something on his back.
The fashionista.
Yeah, now he's
Eli.
big samurai.
He's the Russell Westbrook of
He has some
of Western
fashion, doesn't he?
Sydney.
Westbrook. How I enjoy watching to see what them guys rock up to in NBA games.
Let's see some question. Why is it called Grange TV? Because before, I used to own the gyms with Rob and Alex at Gracie Smith Grange. Then I sold the gyms to them, but I didn't change the name of Grange TV. That's why it was called that, because it was, the podcast was for the gyms as well.
Smeaton Grange was the area that the gyms were at, and Grange is it's a cool name.
And that's how that came about.
I was talking about size. Do you mean the height difference? Walt Harris is still 6'5". It's just fucking Volkov is 6'7".
They're huge guys. That's what I was saying to you. They're huge,
massive.
huge men. Hassan, you asked, do you think age will affect Tony? Are you Tony Ferguson?
I think he may be talking about Tony.
Yeah,
Ferguson.
I don't think he's the same dude that he was before. No, I don't. I do think that the damage that he's sustained over a career, that those two things go together. It's like the wear and tear on you, and your age is going to bring wear and tear regardless. But the wear and tear plus the age, it's not a good thing, you know. And the way Tony fights is he's a guy that he relies on his ability to take punishment as well. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I was going to say the punishment he take. He's had some serious injuries, and not only serious injuries, but come back from them serious injuries. Do you know what I mean? Before, some people wouldn't even start training in the time that he's come back and fought. Like he's done some crazy things, but in the long run, I can't imagine that would be good for your body.
No. Yep. Your predictions, people, Hassan asked for predictions for Jan versus Sterling.
Peter Jan.
Yeah.
Peter Jan. Yep.
Jan, me.
Yep.
Jan.
100%.
Not. I'm not overlooking Jermaine, but I just see Jan as his striking is high level.
Just everything. He's impressed me on every single
level. And his grappling's good.
So
they're off. The big boys are off. Volkov is fucking huge. And he's holding the center well. You know, it's hard, man, because these guys can just turn each other off.
Yeah.
But he seems to be holding that center really, really well.
See there where he's not following and he's just cutting off the cage. Yeah. Again, it's orthodox versus southpaw. The southpaw's on the back foot, which is Walt Harris. Yeah. And Volkov just did a really good job of just some slight little steps to the side and being able to cut off the cage and put a bit more pressure on Walt.
Getting his left foot outside. Ooh.
Walt Harris is getting to that outside with that lead left hand and then that right hook. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Whether he can continue to do that and whether Volkov will continue to let him get on that outside and throw that rear hand as the lead punch.
Nice little lead kick there by Walt Harris to the midline, but Volkov seems to keep backing him up a little bit and controlling the center, and he is cutting him off. Oh, they traded their big right hand there by Volkov.
Again, that orthodox versus southpaw, that rear hand is.
What are they looking for, Ilo, with the footwork there?
We're just trying to fight to get your lead foot on the outside of their lead foot, which is going to bring that. Do you know what I mean? It's going to bring you into range for that right hand to be able to just go straight down the pipe.
Yeah, the right hand or the left hand, respectively.
Or the left hand, yep. Southpaws are dangerous, man. They're very dangerous if they get to that outside, but again, vice versa, if you're orthodox against that southpaw.
So Walt Harris just threw a big kick there, a big inside kick, and I think he might have hurt his foot or his leg, because Volkov checked it, and it looked like they went shin to shin.
He went very sheepish afterwards, didn't he? And then Volkov got him with a nice little combination.
And Volkov's just stalking him down now, just holding the cage, holding the center of the cage. I wonder how much... He looks like it's a little bit gingery, the left leg.
He's starting to move a little bit better now.
Yeah, he's moving.
Just,
that shin to shin, man.
Bruising, yeah.
Oh, my God. Nice little outside left kick by Volkov. Threw a right to the body. Nice left hand, but it didn't hit anything. But he threw it was crisp, nice and crisp. Double up on the jab, straight left down the pipe, and Volkov answers with a right hand down the pipe. And he's stalking him down still. 2:26 to go in the first round. Walt Harris is kind of pouring with his right hand, covered up through. Oh, nice little punches there. Nice little short, sharp punches, like a little kind of hook, I don't know what it was, like a little clubbing hook.
Yeah, he's sort of like covering up and then trying to get that hook off, that lead hook over the top.
Kind of getting him to come in a bit, and then he throws a... But he's you know what's happening as well is he's getting hit to the body a few times by that, like the snap kicks from Volkov. He's hit him a few times, and it'll pay dividends going late into the fight. There again, another one.
Yep.
And that's a huge man doing that. A huge man. His toes would be like two of my fingers. You know what I mean? Like huge, big ass toes.
He's thick as well, isn't he?
Huge man. Legs and, huge.
Oh, there he just covered that distance. The right hand straight down the pipe. Walt Harris did well to cover up, but again, you can't.
You know what's crazy as well? He's only like 2 inches taller than Walt Harris, but he looks like a lot taller. Like he looks a lot taller.
He does. Looks ridiculously huge.
And these guys are 6'7" and 6'5". That's giant men.
See, even when you're covering up with these big guys, even covering up, like their shots are that heavy. They get through, like compared to a lightweight or something like that. You can have a really good guard, and the power and the weight behind that shot, it's still going to come through and rock you. So
Man,
it's very dangerous. Yeah.
You think about you're only putting your hands up with 4-ounce gloves, and I think that's where the 4 ounce. Oh, he rocked him! He rocked him! He hurt him!
Right,
exactly what we were talking about. Exactly that. Look, you put your hands up against the heavyweights like that, and it's so Volkov's got him. He's hitting him now. Harris is throwing back hard.
Returning.
There's 30 seconds to go. Volkov's smart, man. He hasn't thrown caution of the wind.
Yep.
Harris looked up at the clock.
He's been patient.
He's been hit to the body again. So Volkov has hit him again to the body with that lead right leg.
They're hurting him.
Very much.
Body shots,
again, he's covering up.
No, you can't. He's going to pick you off. And them big, heavy shots, they're going to get through that guard.
They are getting.
Yeah. Well, they rocked him.
Yeah. So Walt Harris is kind of covering up, covering his head at times. And he's firing off afterwards, but it's hard. The thing I was going to say with that, so that's the end of round 1, is the gloves are only 4 ounces. They're not like 8 or 12 ounces or whatever. So it's only 4 ounce. So when you cover up, the other guy, he can hit you. Now, it's probably worse than if he hit you flush on the head. Because you covered up with your 4 ounce gloves like this. And the guy can punch you now as hard as he likes on your hands. And he's not going to break his hands. If you actually didn't cover up and he hit you flush on the forehead, he'd probably break his hands with 4 ounce gloves. But when you cover up and you got your 4 ounce gloves and you're not doing anything, he can hit you as hard as he wants. If he hits you on his hands, your brain's going to rattle, but he's not going to break his hands. Do you get what I mean? Especially with the heavyweights.
Yep. I was just watching some of that first round, and them body kicks. He would have got him with at least
4 or 5.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 maybe. And they're going to affect him in the long run, but that covering up, and then Volkov just still throwing. Because you can't have that full range of covering your whole head, because with the small gloves, it's not like boxing where that extra amount of ounces can help cover up more of your face.
Round 2 started. So we're off round 2. Walt Harris is pouring away, like fighting for the lead. Oh, nice, Walt Harris. Nice work. So Walt Harris faked a single leg and then went and came over the top with a right hook, left hand.
I don't feel this fight's going 3 rounds.
No. Either one of them, like Walt Harris still has power to knock Volkov out. And Volkov's really like chipping away at him.
Yeah, I feel like Volkov's he's keeping that pressure, keeping that constant pressure on him, and just being very patient with his striking. So while Walt Harris is sort of looking for that knockout punch. So he's staying calm, just keeping that distance.
And he's controlling him really well.
Yep.
He's controlling the center. Another straight right hand landed by Volkov. They're fighting sometimes to hand control. So Walt Harris is doing a good job of that, but he's not really capitalizing once he does it. And he hasn't kicked again.
Yeah, he fainted it just then.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was never thrown.
Oh!
The body shot. And this stopped.
Yeah. There's the lead right kick.
Yeah.
Snap kick to the body.
He's hurt, Walt. He's down.
He's really hurt. It got him in the body. Unless he got him low, but I think he got him in the body. No. Got him in the body, yeah.
You know what they say, Fab? It's an investment.
Fuck yeah. People don't get how
money
bad
in
that
the bank. Invest to the body. Money in the bank will pay off in the long run.
And especially those limbs, man. Someone that long, big feet, big toes, huge, man. Long levers, just bang, bang.
But he's got thick legs too.
Yeah, man. That was absolutely brutal, man. Wow. Oh.
That's that up kick that he got him with over and over again.
It's
busted him.
You know what's sad? You know that Walt Harris's stepdaughter got kidnapped and murdered? This is a couple of years ago now, I think. Devastating. It was horrible, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you talk about fucking how does that affect? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how I don't know, man. Imagine, because it doesn't matter, stepdaughter, daughter, whatever.
Yep.
Imagine something happening to your kid. If
someone I knew that I just knew in the street that I say hello to, I'd be devastated. You know what I mean?
Honestly, as a dad, sometimes I lose sleep, like nothing's happened, and I think, I wake up and I think, fuck, what if something happened or whatever, you know? Like, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine going through that. Valeria $5 again. Valeria, you're a champion. What is more difficult for fighters during fight week? The media obligations or weight cutting? You want to talk on it? Great question.
I think they're both very difficult, but the problem is you have to do them at the same time.
Yes.
You're cutting weight, and then you're going to these. And I've been there with Rob. It's just one after another, after another, after another, and everyone wants a piece of you, and you want to go back to your room and relax and focus on your weight cut. But then no, you've got to go to more media obligations. It's tough. It is hard.
Weight cut by itself is horrendous, but the media obligations are shit. Media obligations and weight cutting at the same time, it's the worst. The worst. The only saving grace that it can have is that it can take your mind off the weight cut. And it depends a lot more on, I think, the kind of person you are. Like some people really, really like that. They're extroverted and that they're able to think. But for other people, man, the media obligation, you can do the weight cut. So Putin, I don't know if that's the actual Putin commenting. If it is, thank you, sir. Don't agree with all your politics, but thank you for posting. Some weight cutting is hard, but if you can just do it in your room, it's fine. You know what I mean? The media obligations, man, you don't want to go to a party sometimes. Think of this. You don't want to go to a party sometimes because there's going to be one dickhead there. True or not? You know what I mean? And if you have to see the guy you're going to fight, and the guy you're going to fight is a dickhead, and there's 6 other dickheads that you don't want to talk to that have nothing to do with it. Some of the media guys, man, honestly, ask dumb questions. It gets to you, man. It does get to you. It's part of the game, but the combination of the two, Valeria, is the worst.
I think another thing that would get to me, and it must get to fighters. I don't know. Maybe some of them love it and they have it down pat because they know, but they just get asked the same questions over and over and over again. Do you know what I mean? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where do you see this fight going? How many times in a fight week, in a big fight week like a title shot, how many times in that week lead up do you think they get asked that?
40, 50?
More.
Yeah.
I reckon more. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so that would be, it would nearly become a little bit robotic, and you would go like, oh, I'm not actually, do you know what I mean? I know exactly what they're going to ask me. So if someone then comes up with a surprise question, I don't know. Doing them both would be hard. Doing them just by themselves would suck. Again, like I think just 4 or 5 media obligations would be fine, but having to do, like you said, 40.
Yeah. So this is interesting here, and I agree. So Putin says this next fight for Bobby Knuckles is seriously going to make or break him. He is a serious opponent ahead of him. And then the sandwich answered, when has Rob ever had an opponent who wasn't serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have to agree with the sandwich. And it doesn't make or break him. Like, I mean, of course he'd rather win, but I mean, it's a fight game, dude. Like, it's not fairy tales, you know?
I think where Putin's saying that it makes or breaks him is regarding a title shot. Do you know what I mean? His road back to a title shot, if he had a loss now, will be a lot longer. Sorry. If he gets that loss, because Israel at the moment is a dominant champion and it is such a hard division, I think that I don't know, Putin, you can tell me that I fucking don't know what I'm on about, but I think his road to a title shot, if he gets a loss, will be, you know what I mean, a lot more difficult. He might not see a title shot unless everything aligns properly for another couple of years if he gets a loss. Why, if he gets that win, I feel he's deserving for it, or then he's at least then going to have another fight which will definitely match up to that title shot.
Murray Day says, I didn't know Putin had this much fighting knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Putin's like a black belt in judo. Yeah. So thank you, sir, for posting, taking time out of your busy day. Bob Bruce Countryside, shout out from Belarus. You guys are great. Thank you for your podcasts. Big fans out here. Sir, thank you, man. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all your support, guys. It's massive. And not only wouldn't we do it? We can't do it without you. So thank you guys for sharing. Biracial Angel about to put on a show. I think so. I think it's going to be a good fight, But as you saw with the Jacob fight, anything can happen, man. Duchess says, I don't know what Cannonier can do that Izzy didn't, and Izzy didn't break him. Came back and won against Till. Yeah, dude, they know they signed up for this. They know what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I think people, they understand that it's a fight. Do you get what I mean? They understand it's a fight. It's people watch it like it's a movie, and it's not. You know what I mean? And I think that's Pranav. You said, why is it that in MMA fans turn on fighters that lose so quickly? I think because people are completely detached from reality in a lot of senses. Like they've never actually done it. Like people that have fought or that are involved in it or that coach or that they're on the mats every day, they get it. It's the same. You know what I feel it's like, man? It's like kind of like hunting or spearfishing or something. Like people are like, oh, it's so cruel what you did and da-da-da. And you think like, no, dude, there's like, when I go spearfishing and I like pick the fish and I spear it, you have a much greater connection when that fish is on your plate than people that just think that fish come in as fish fingers. They don't.
Yeah.
They were once a fish.
The same guy sitting there eating KFC, do you know what I mean? And going, you cruel fuck, you went and murdered that. How do you think they got on your plate? I understand. They
didn't just fucking jump on the plate. You know what I mean? They weren't. They're not queuing up and petitioning at Ingham's to go, please let me be a fucking chicken nugget. Like that's not what they're doing. It's not what little chickens want to be when they grow up. So they're animals, man, and you should have a connection. And so I think a lot of the times people are talking and they have no connection whatsoever to, not even to fighting. Like a lot of times I don't think people have any connection even to like putting your balls on the line, like putting your own money up in a business or something, you know what I mean? Like people don't really understand that.
I think it's also people in general like to back a winner.
100%.
They like to, do you know what I mean?
1,000%.
They like to back a winner. You got to be, I feel like you need to be really strong to be, or it sucks, do you know what I mean, backing someone that loses. So people generally like to back a winner. It happens in all sports. I mean, basketball, I jumped on plenty of bandwagons.
You are a bandwagon jumper.
No, mate, back in the 90s, I went the Hornets. I never jumped on the Bulls, Charlotte Hornets, all the way. But since then I've swapped and changed bad. But it's just what people do.
So Sub Tenzin says, Grange TV, what do you think about the weighing controversy from Khabib? They should use digital scales. We spoke about it earlier, but what do you think?
I think maybe digital scales is the way to go, but why do they still use the weighted scales? Does it have some meaning or some connection to that old school type of fighting that people, I don't know.
They say that it's more accurate, but I don't think that scientists measure with those scales. You know
I'm pretty sure technology now is a little bit better, where the old ones where you'd step on it and the little.
I don't think like physicists and whatnot that it like measuring stuff. Go, look, dude, let's get those scales and we'll calibrate them. No, that doesn't happen. It says Francesco Bartucci, what do you guys think of Jared's rocks? Haha.
Again, if he draws power from them, they're dangerous. It's only what you think. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. I'm like, it's what you think, what you're getting out of it. Again, you said there's studies on placebos. I'd be a big sucker for that. You could give me, you could put like a bit of sugar in, or just like flour in a thing, stick it up, go, Eli, take this pre-workout. I would take it and I'd be like, ready to go. Who wants it? Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, who wants it? I don't know. It's what you draw out of it, I guess. Sorry, what do you think about the?
Yeah, I said it before. I think that like I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in spirituality. I believe in any and all things. Not necessarily the actual thing. I think the debate about whether this is real or that's real, I think that's redundant. I think the reality is like if Jared believes in him and he believes that it's working, he's taking a lot of responsibility off himself. Like there'd be physiological changes that are occurring, like with his amygdala and whatnot. Like his anxiety would go down because it's not in his hands anymore. So man, if he believes it, good for him. Are you? So Arctic asks, are you more or less nervous now watching him while not being there? Well, I'm not involved in coaching Jacob or Rob or Izzy or any of the boys anymore. Like I'm not coaching at all. So I don't have the accountability. That's what's different, you know. The nerves are still there. The nerves are pretty bad. But I don't have the accountability. That's different. You know what I mean? I'm not accountable for the wins or the losses, but definitely the nerves are there and the empathy's there, massive empathy, because I coached and trained and worked with these boys from when they're young, you know. So that hurts, you know, like that makes me nervous. That makes me anxious, you know. But in as far as like, it's the accountability that's different now, not the nerves. Putin says, and that's why I'm glad I'm a human and not a chicken. We fucking won that one, eh? Didn't we? What's the? Hey, that's so. Okay. I used tired yet? Not from No Need. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm fucking.
Yeah, a big day today too. Mighty Panthers in the grand final.
I
For people who don't know, Penrith Panthers, it's a rugby league team. Grand final today. Yep. Very important.
I'll tell you this, with as far as the scales, you know, like there's a million times you weigh in digitally before you go and weigh in. So it's not like they don't use digital scales and you don't know. And digital scales, man, I like I said, I don't. We have the technology nowadays to be able to deal with that. I think it would have probably been better. So how do you see this going?
1,000 times, but I feel that Rob, and even Rob said, I feel like he's just better at every sort of part.
I think so.
I feel like he's a more technical striker. I feel like he's faster. I feel like Cannonier can't outmuscle him. I feel like he's a better wrestler. It's not going to go to the round. I don't think it's going to go to the round unless Rob chooses it to. I feel like if he wanted to take Cannonier down, he could.
I think he will.
So
I think he will.
Yeah. I just think he's better all round. But again, we say that Cannonier has knockout power, and if he catches Rob coming in on one of his blitzes, then he can put him to sleep. So,
and yeah, I don't think victory is a foregone conclusion for Rob in this fight. I think that again, like Jacob, I think like if it's going to be similar to Jacob's fight in as far as like, I think if it's going to get done, it'll get done early by Cannonier.
Okay.
I think if Rob starts to get the timing and that, it's yeah. SK asks, how good is Rob's offensive wrestling? Like, it's good, man. It's good.
Yeah.
Like I said to you, like he qualified for, it's again, Australia's not a wrestling nation, but he did qualify for the Commonwealth Games in wrestling. He has to be able to wrestle, you know what I mean? So he definitely can wrestle, and it's not new. Like he's used his offensive wrestling. If you look back, even before he started training with us with the wrestling team, when he was training with Henry, most of his wins were submission. You know, so he had to get the people down. But his wrestling obviously has improved, and he started competing in wrestling. You know, he qualified for the Commonwealth Games. He can wrestle. Again, how much do you think Malkoun losing will affect Rob? It will affect Rob. How it manifests itself is what's different. You know what I mean? I don't think. Yeah. Thick Jesus, my mate Scott wants to ask if you think Rob should wrestle him. I don't think he should. I think he can, and he probably will. I don't think he has to go wrestling or bust, but he definitely will mix up his strikes with wrestling. You definitely will see him do that. 100% he will try and take him down. Yeah. Honestly, why does he not use it more often? Because he does use it more often, but in the last bunch of fights that he's fought, they've all been wrestlers that are trying to take him down. You know what I mean? So you haven't seen that offensive wrestling in that. In the Israel fight, Israel, you need to time it correctly, and Israel got off on Rob first, you know, and good for Rob. So I think so. Joel Mikhail Health says, I think Jacob getting so pressured from the start may have been to his surprise. He seemed to caught in the headlights. I don't know that it was to his surprise because, that's what Phil had to do to win, and I'm sure his corner knew that he was going to come and pressure. But it definitely, whichever one of those guys could get off first was going to win, and Phil did it. Tasman Andrews, $10. You're the best. Let's go, Rob. Let's go, Robbie. Let's go. Where can we watch live fight? Not here, man. But it's going to be an interesting fight. Yeah, Cannonier with a heavy leg kick. That's something that Cannonier, like I said before, I think that the kicking game is going to be very, very important between these two guys because it's going to determine when and how Rob blitzes. So if Cannonier can get his kicking game off, then you're going to see him have some success with establishing distance and establishing the timing. In and of itself, it won't mean that we can't share it on a small screen. Like if you share it live on a small screen, YouTube will cut us off. We can't do that.
If we could,
we would.
Yeah,
we would.
But then it'd be over.
Sumo, hello guys from Shanghai. Ni hao ma. It's my Chinese. My Chinese is strong, mate. Perfect pronunciation. Love the slips. Okay, Rob's looking very loose. I think Rob's going to get off, like I'm telling you. I think so. But, man, let's go. So Rob looks like he looks calm. He looks very put together. They touch gloves, and we've started. Cannonier's pressuring. He came out in southpaw. He came out as a southpaw and threw that leg kick.
Straight away, that leg kick.
Yeah, he came out as a southpaw.
But this has happened before.
Not only has it happened before, but I tell you this, I don't know how comfortable. I don't know how comfortable he's going to be as a southpaw.
Yeah. So he switches back straight away to orthodox.
So Rob threw a jab. They're kind of jostling for the middle here. Rob threw another jab. Kind of connected there. And threw an inside leg kick by Rob. They're both looking really good, man. Both these guys are looking good. Don't blink, man. Don't blink.
Yeah. I feel this.
Oh, big leg kick by Cannonier landed on Rob, and then he fell over himself.
Yep, trying to follow up with another kick.
And this is the game. This is what's going to determine is who wins the kicking. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Who wins the kicking battle? Rob threw a right high kick, and Cannonier took it on the arms. He's back to southpaw Cannonier.
Yeah,
Rob's holding the center.
Stance,
now he's back to orthodox. Walking in range. He's got his hands up high. Cannonier's looking good. Throws a left kick to the body. Rob's got his hands low. Another big right kick by Rob to the arms of Cannonier. Whenever Cannonier goes to southpaw, that throwing that kick is smart by Rob. Starts to wear the arms down.
Now we're just seeing where Rob mixes it up. Then strikes, and then with that high kick. Yeah. Very dangerous.
Another big kick by Cannonier. Yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
Again.
I've been saying this the whole time. That's where the fight will matter. You know what I mean?
So is it obviously that's a plan that he's come up with, trying to
it's going to be
ruin that lead leg in that southpaw stance.
Yeah, who controls the leg kicks is going to be the big thing in this fight. Who controls those kicks? Yeah, nice check by Rob. Very nice check. Cannonier's doing a great job too, man.
He is.
Very, very good job. Oh! Big right kick by Rob. Just missed. And it's hurt Cannonier with the right hand down the pipe. Now Rob's controlling the center of the octagon. Threw another right high kick to Cannonier.
This is where I feel Rob
this is where it starts to get bad. Off. Inside leg kick by Rob. Nice jab by Rob. Now Cannonier is starting to react a little bit to Rob's shots.
Yep. And now it's starting to react to the feints as well.
He's reacting to the feints. Shots. He's reacting to it. Rob's holding the center, looking very relaxed. And Cannonier's starting to bite a little bit. Threw a left kick, but Rob's out of range. I think Rob's starting to get his range now. Ooh, nice kick by Cannonier. Inside leg kick. Rob's very relaxed, though. Looking very loose, very relaxed. He's starting to back Cannonier up a little bit. He's in the middle of the cage now. He's holding the center. Threw a nice little jab. Landed that on Cannonier. Cannonier is back in the southpaw position. Ooh, threw a big right hand by Rob. Overhand right, followed by a left hook. Cannonier standing in southpaw. Rob got to him first with a jab. Now right low kick by Cannonier from the southpaw stance. Oh, man, I'm fucking so nervous watching this. I'm going to fucking have an anxiety attack on air. Okay, another jab landed by Rob. Cannonier's standing in the center of the octagon. Another jab by Cannonier now. They're both, oh, man, I'm going to have an anxiety attack. Rob's looking very relaxed. Yeah, nice like lead right hand by Rob.
He's winning the battle of the distance.
And the jab. In, out. Jab. If
Cannonier's winning the battle of the leg kicks.
Yes. There's a minute to go in this round. There's a minute to go. I think Rob's getting that timing, though. Rob's getting the hands. Rob's winning the battle. Can Cannonier do enough damage in the legs to stop that? Left low kick by Rob. Left hook by Rob, and Cannonier ducks under it. Oh, nice little kick by Rob, but a right hand returned by Cannonier. Now Cannonier's pushing forward. 38 seconds to go. Rob throws a lead right hand. And Cannonier in the middle here. Rob's going to go. Rob's going to blitz. I'm telling you now, he's going to blitz there. Left jab there by Rob, landed it again.
Nice. Just in and out.
Yep. Southpaw stance. Now Rob's feinting. Cannonier's biting a little bit on the feints. Oh, another big right kick by Rob. Found a home a little bit there. Cannonier still took it on the arms. Got a nice high guard, but those kicks are taking a toll.
Yep.
Those kicks are going to take a toll. Another inside leg kick by Cannonier. Another inside leg kick by Cannonier from the southpaw stance. Oh, he landed a nice front kick into Rob's body there. How do you see that one?
You've got to give it to Rob, even though the leg kicks, I think, again, it's a battle. Rob's winning the battle of the stand-up, minus the leg kicks that Cannonier threw probably in the first half of that really well, and then started to slow off in the second half of that first round, because I feel like he was reacting a lot more to Rob's feints and was a little bit more worried about his hands.
I have to agree with you. I see that as is Khabib and Justin match live now. No Charlie or Chariuri. No, it's not. It's Rob and Cannonier. Khabib's on next. Man, I'm fucking trembling. I think I'd have to give it to Rob. I think Rob's just landing the bigger shots, like with the hands and with the legs, like some of the kicks and that.
Very comfortable. Rob looked very comfortable. And I don't think, other than the leg kicks, Cannonier hasn't worried him with anything. No. That distance, he's just in, out, even with that jab. And then throwing even that jab and then that high kick. And then he's just not there to be returned on. So
round two. Rob's looking very loose. He's in the center of the octagon, 4:53 to go. Cannonier starting to bite a little bit. Oh, Cannonier got caught with another of Rob's jabs.
Heavy leg kick, but he's coming out in that southpaw stance again. Back to orthodox.
Yeah. He's winging, but Rob's out of his range. Yeah. Rob's out of his range. Rob's got good range on him now at the moment. He threw another leg kick, but Rob countered with a jab.
He doubled up that jab.
And doubled up the jab.
And then the right hand at the end.
Yeah. Rob's got a lot of marking, though, around his legs. A lot of markings around that left leg. He seems to be starting to step a little gingerly.
Yeah, but if it was a 5-rounder, I can understand. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely going to do a lot more damage, but I feel in these 3 rounds, he might not be able to get the volume of leg kicks to make some serious damage.
Another right kick by Rob to Cannonier's arms. Yeah. No, but it's affecting Rob's stance.
It is.
Right hand by Rob down the pipe, but it is affecting it.
Well, you can see he's already got some swelling in the back of the knee.
Left kick to the arms of Whittaker. Oh, nice. Rob with a little bit of dirty boxing. Hit him with an uppercut.
Very nice. Rob's just... he's...
Another leg kick landed by Cannonier. Heavy leg kick landed by Cannonier. Now Cannonier's in the southpaw stance. And another leg kick by Cannonier landed on Rob from the southpaw stance. So Cannonier, from the southpaw stance, he's throwing his right leg into Rob's left leg, and he's landing them. Rob threw another jab. He's got a lot of success with his hands at the moment. Another right hand from Rob. He's trying to move. He's keeping his movement going. And this is, I think, though, Rob could start to be in trouble here if Cannonier can land a couple more leg kicks.
Yeah, it's going to slow him down, and then it's going to make him controlling that distance a lot harder.
Oh, another right hand.
That 1-2 coming in.
That blitz that Rob does. Oh, nice return there by Cannonier.
So that's where it can affect it.
Yeah.
Rob's ability now to get out of the distance. If his leg's starting to weigh
that's what I was saying the whole time. But Rob's still looking comfortable.
He is.
He's still looking comfortable.
And he's still keeping that distance.
Yeah. Cannonier needs to land range. 2 more flush to really bother him. And then, is it enough? Rob partially checked that one, yeah. So Cannonier, they're trading in the middle. I think Rob's hands are too fast though to trade like that.
Yep.
Rob's hands are low and he's looking for it. Another jab landed by Rob.
I feel he can just continue to do that. Get off that.
Another jab landed by Rob. And this is the thing with Rob's stance, and that's what makes him susceptible to the leg kicks, is his stance. But it's that stance that allows him to blitz in and out and cover the distance. He's looking good. He's looking very good.
Looking very comfortable.
Yeah. It's 1:56 to go. Rob's picking Cannonier apart, and that swelling around Cannonier's right eye from getting jabbed repeatedly starting to close, which is going to make it difficult for him to see the left hook that comes outside of the periphery. Nice jab landed by Rob, and he winged. Cannonier winged on the right hand.
That jab, he's just peppering him.
He's landing jab after jab. Another
Stiff
right
ones,
leg kick.
Quick ones.
Very nice right leg kick landed by Cannonier though. There. They're both in the middle. This is right thing is Rob's winning the hands, Cannonier's winning the leg kicks. Can Cannonier do more damage to Rob? Now Rob's leg's starting to kind of straighten out a little bit. Now Rob's got it. Yes, he's taking him down. This
is where we said he could, if he wants to, he can take him down. And very smart.
Very smart. Threw a big left kick off the break there. So Cannonier answers the left kick of his own. Rob takes him in the arms. Rob's watching very, very good. Another big leg kick landed by Cannonier.
After that,
another one. Partial check by Rob. Now Cannonier pushes Rob back against the cage. Rob throws landing jab after jab after jab. Cannonier landed one big leg kick for Rob's 3 jabs.
And that's the story of the fight so far.
That is the story of the fight. Rob's legs starting to straighten out a little bit. He landed a beautiful 1-2 by Rob. Beautiful 1-2. Snapped Cannonier's head back.
Yeah, maybe Cannonier's banking too much on them leg kicks and not...
Yeah.
Yep, I feel Rob's just beating him to the punch every time.
Yeah, but Rob's leg is looking... Oh! Doubled up on the jab and big right hand by Rob. Doubled up on the jab, big right hand by Rob. Cannonier's in the southpaw stance. Done. End of the second round. I think...
That eye is starting to close.
Yeah.
There on Cannonier.
Yeah, how do you see it,
jabs. Yeah, Rob again. Really well done. Them leg kicks are going to take a toll, but I just don't feel in these 3 rounds, they're not going to do enough. I can't see him, getting... He's not going to quit from leg kicks. It's only if something really bad, but I'd one more round. No, I can't see it being any different to the first 2 rounds. I feel like Rob could even stop him in this 3rd round, which I mentioned before.
I think so as well, and I think you will be right about that.
Cannonier hasn't set any distance. I don't feel he hasn't really even put hands on Rob.
No.
So without that distance, I don't feel like he's that threat of getting that knockout.
Yeah, it's 2-0 to Rob, and in my opinion, and I see that significant strikes. It's Whittaker on 25-16 in both rounds. So I don't see Cannonier being able, unless he catches him.
Yep.
But I don't think so.
3rd round. Rob's looking good, man.
Very good. Through a left-right 1-2. Cannonier's in the southpaw stance, looking to hit that leg, but he keeps getting jabbed in the face too much.
When he's in that southpaw stance, that's where he's getting him in that right eye and closing it up.
And you know what's funny is like that's an awkward punch to hit a southpaw with as a jab. Yeah.
But where Rob's jab comes from is it's not, do you know what I mean, conventional as well.
Yeah.
He's trying to, he's flicking that leg out. He's obviously bothering him, trying to check it. Again, that jab.
The jab again.
Coming from that. Hands down. Comes out crisp and clean. And it's also because that little bit...
Oh! He's hurt, Cannonier. It's done. He's done. Cannonier's done. He's done. Rob's hurting bad. It's over. Fucking hell, Cannonier. Stop! They're still going.
The referee...
Fucking hell, Cannonier.
Any other time.
Yeah.
But I can't... This isn't going to get any better for Cannonier.
No. So Cannonier's in full guard. Rob hit him with his patented straight right hand, right high kick, and Cannonier's in all sorts of trouble. Now Rob's in full guard, and now Rob's passing a half guard. He's got an underhook, and he's controlling. He's got shoulder pressure on. He's going to hold Cannonier down.
Yeah.
His Cannonier's not going to get up. He's going to beat him up from here. So he's got him, and he's got him stacked up against the cage.
He was doing the nut bush after that, when he got hit. He was all over the place.
So Rob's looking for a head arm. Looks like he's fishing for a head arm on that side. Rob's got nice half guard. He's squared off Cannonier's hips, and he's stacked him up against the cage. So, now Rob's passed half guard to the other side. And traditionally, this is the weak side for people. So it's harder for people to work on this side. And so Cannonier is not gonna get up. Rob's gonna pass. He's passed. He's got full mount. Now Cannonier is not going to get Rob off from here.
No. Very dangerous. Now he's just surviving, and he's giving his back.
Rob's got his back now. He's sunk one hook.
Yep, second hook.
He's got both hooks in. It could be. I think it's going to be done here.
Yep.
Cannonier's in a lot of trouble. His face is all busted up. Rob's got.
Oh no! Oh.
Yeah, he's not. Rob's not going to tap from that. Yeah,
but he has crossed.
He's crossed his legs. Yeah,
tried to go for that.
Fuck Cannonier, man. He's a monster, dude. He should get a special award or something for that. Now he's got Rob up against the cage, right? He's got Rob up against the cage, and he's got a deep underhook on Rob. He's throwing some knees. He's got 2 minutes to work.
There's no quit.
There's no quit in Cannonier. No. Cannonier is a monster. He's throwing short punches to Rob's ribs and some knees to the legs. But unless he stops Rob, it's not going to happen. He'd have to hit him with one of those stones, like right in the temple or something. Otherwise, it
wouldn't be a big one too. I think all these crystals were. Yeah.
So Rob now is, unless Cannonier can land something huge, Rob's going to hurt him badly. There's a minute 34 to go. Rob's comfortable. Cannonier's really, really, really hurt. Man, the durability on Cannonier is insane.
Yeah, well, we knew that coming in. Do you know what I mean? He's very durable, and he's not going to quit. So, very motivated. But I just feel like he never got that striking off.
Yeah.
Rob, again, just comes in with that jab.
Huge jab. Huge jab.
Nice, stiff.
Hands are down. Rob's hands are down. He's got his timing on Cannonier. Hurt him badly again. Hurt him.
Just when he's coming in, just jabbed him off. Yep. Cannonier's face is swollen up. He's throwing half-ass leg kicks now. Down that jab. And this will be the tail of the tape.
Through a jumping, roundhouse left kick. There, Rob took it in the arms, but it's not. Another big jab landed by Rob.
He's timing that perfect too.
Yeah.
Oh!
Cannonier kind of rocked Rob
a little bit with the right hand.
He's 30 seconds to go. Rob's moving. Cannonier has to go all in if he wants this.
Yeah.
I personally hope he does it. He landed another one. Nice! Nice. Very smart by Rob. Very, very smart.
Oh, presses him against the cage.
He's got 15 seconds to work here.
Foot stomp.
Ooh, big knee by Cannonier, but fell over when he threw it. Cannonier fights hard, till the end. Rob's just wearing the winding the clock down now. Done. It's Rob's fight. Rob won that fight. 3 rounds
nice.
3 rounds to none.
Yes, easy. There's not a way he won a round. Cannonier.
But he's, mate, I'm fucking impressed with him.
Fucking durable, not going to give up. Especially when he was on the ground, Rob took his back. Like, I'm not saying that fighters give up from there, but a lot of people get finished from there.
Yeah. So that was round 3, end of the fight. Rob won that. If Rob doesn't win this fight, if some judge gives it to Cannonier, I would strongly advocate for for rioting on the streets. Please.
He went face first after he got that head kick. He had the wobbly boot and then went face first into the cage. I'm surprised the referee didn't stop it there. That's Cannonier, of course.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Cannonier did well.
Cannonier did very well, but so sorry guys with the commentating. That's pretty bad, you know, from me.
We can do it.
I'm just watching the fights. I'm just seeing, yeah. So no, I think that Rob won that fight far and away. There was a question, I can't remember who it was. I just saw it as we were thing, and it says, how does Rob land that combination over and over again? It's a combination that he throws. So when he throws his right hand, right, you block, and when you block like this, the people can see, and the people who can't see or they're just listening, imagine you're putting your fists together in front of your face. And that cuts off your vision on the periphery, the right kick that's coming. So as your hands come up in the middle to protect from the right hand that's come straight down the pipe, the right high kick is coming over the top and hits you like in the temple. It's very, very, very hard.
On the back of that performance, title shot. That was dominant. I feel
to
like
me,
that's a
yeah,
dominant.
but I'm fucking like biased as
no, but anyone watching that knows that was more dominant than the Till fight, I feel. So
then what Rob did with Till?
Yeah.
That
was more dominant. So I feel definitely a title shot.
Can you
Yep.
Can you look through this? I'm gonna send Rob a message.
I will get off this third round. We're on to the big one next. Let's see. I want to see the judges' scorecards. Yeah, I'm not too sure what they scored it. Obviously, because we don't have, we can't hear the fights. We're only watching them. But yeah, I'd say Rob won every round, 10-9, in my opinion. Which round for Jared? Did someone on here scoring one for Jared? I don't think so. I don't feel like he won any of them. He did land heavy head kicks, but at the same time, one heavy head kick for, do you know what I mean, 5 headshots. The scoring always goes the way of the headshots, I feel. Eli, were you a firefighter? I actually am a firefighter, still. So just only new into it, probably around 9 months into the job. So yeah, but I am currently a firefighter, full-time firefighter. Leg kicks are so overrated.
No, they're not.
No, I don't think that the damage that they can do. No, I don't feel that they are overrated.
The problem with that is like
he did outstrike him every round. Sorry, you've got that right. But their leg kicks are not overrated. If that was a 5-round fight, they would start to really pay some tolls. Do you know what I mean? In that 5th round.
The problem is it's not. It's like the leg kicks is one thing, but it's not like leg kicks are the What round did Rob? What round? Who gave a round to Jared? What round?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
No disrespect to Jared, but
yeah,
fuck. What I was going to say is but leg kicks are only one element of striking. You have to have done all the other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Rob, it's not like Jared was just kicking him and Rob was like deer in the headlines. Like Rob was landing jabs, big right hands, everything. You know what I mean? So that takes its toll as well. You know what I mean?
We have someone here, Whittaker versus Costa next. I think it will be Whittaker versus Israel. But if Israel chooses to go another path, that could be a fight for Rob. Bad fight for Costa, I feel. Bad fight for Costa.
Super bad.
I feel it would be worse than what he just did to Jared Cannonier. I feel maybe for Costa, his next opponent could be Jared Cannonier. But,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel Costa and Cannonier, I would like to watch that fight. I think that's an interesting fight, but Rob, definitely. Israel, and if it's not Israel, maybe the winner out of Till and Hermanson.
Yeah, but I think Rob and Costa don't. I think Rob's done enough, and I think if Israel doesn't want to fight, wants something else, that's fair enough. That's Israel's prerogative, and he's earned it.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. So I don't know, but Costa and Rob, I don't really know. No.
I don't feel it's a sub 10. Is he going to fight Yoel again? No, I don't think he is. I don't think that's a big enough draw card. I can't see that fight happening. He wants to keep a clean record. Yeah, but I feel at the moment Israel is on top and he has the skills to beat everyone. I feel myself, Rob is the biggest threat to his title, but I still feel Israel has the confidence that he can beat Rob again, and obviously Rob has the confidence that he can beat Izzy in a rematch. Who we got here? $10. Artek, is it?
Swedish crown.
We got to celebrate. Yes, we do. I celebrate with my banana and my agua.
That is $16 Australian.
Is it?
You are a champion, Sek. You are a champion. Don't ever change, Artek. You are a champion. Thank you for that. We can celebrate on that.
I will be celebrating tonight. Now Rob's won, Panthers won. I will win, hopefully. I'll be, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, who do we think next for Cannonier? Yoel.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it could be. And I don't, but you know what the thing is with Yoel? He's not the same anymore.
Nah.
And I don't.
He had his shot. I feel like he's just coasting.
Not just that. I also really like him as I'm a fan. I kind of don't want to see him fighting anymore. You know what I mean? I don't. Do you believe Whittaker could beat Costa? I think it's a really bad matchup
for Costa. Yeah, I feel.
I think Rob's a little too quick. I think Rob's a little bit.
I feel it'd be similar to that fight. Yeah, but Costa wouldn't have the leg kicks. I don't think his leg kicks would be equal to. Yeah.
And I don't see. Not only that, I'll tell you now. In that fight, Rob would kick Costa's legs.
Yeah.
Kick the shit out of Costa's legs. So, yeah. So fuck. I very much rate leg kicks. Of course, I do. I meant it in a scoring perspective. Man, I think
I sort of agree with that. That I feel sometimes the leg kicks don't get scored. Depending on the judges.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Depending on who's judging it and their opinion. Because it's still subjective to an opinion.
It's subjective to opinion, but also, if your face is fucking busted into oblivion,
yep.
It's hard for someone to give you the round on leg kicks.
Yeah.
And then even if you just go off survival, what do you rather protect, your legs or your brain? You know what I mean? If your face is completely busted from trauma to your head, you're not winning that fight. That's not a winning fight. Any chance of getting the rounds time up in the future, lads? Todd Umptious, yes, but not from us.
We're struggling
as it is, man, like to get this done. David Roberts is not here. He's left us high and dry, as he always does, because that's the kind of person he is. And, we're just doing our best to just merely survive. Leg kicks are supposed to set up for later rounds, but I don't see the point of hitting leg kicks and nothing else. I feel that Cannonier, the problem for Cannonier was that had to be the plan. But I think, and again, it was exactly what we said as well. I don't think that people really get how fast Rob blitzes. Look at David Roberts.
Yeah, he's taunting us.
I'm here. Wow,
he's taunting
David.
Us. Yeah.
Grange TV, what division is the most packed and competitive? I think lightweight. Yeah, probably lightweight. I think, man, it just depends. Middleweight doesn't look good. It's not a good time to be a middleweight right now. I think, heavyweight is kind of looking interesting as well in a way.
It is.
You know, like, but not the most stacked. Obviously, I think the most stacked are always going to be. To be honest with you, I think welterweight looks good as well. Lightweight, always, that lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, because that's what most people are.
I feel the middleweight is the most stacked at the moment. Heavyweight is obviously always interesting because they can just knock each other out at any stage. So that's how come that's interesting. But no, middleweight, I feel, is the most stacked at the moment.
Luke Geppe, congratulations from Croatia. You guys are the best, mate. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
You guys are the best, man, for just helping us and being here, and it's the best. Man, I was screaming when Rob got the knockdown. So was I, Huss. So was I, my friend. So yeah, it's fuck, man, that was
it was good,
nerve-wracking, man. But the thing is, a lot of the times you look at fights retrospectively, but as they're happening, those leg kicks that land, and the difference is, like, when I say one judge gave it to who gave it to Rob, I mean, who gave that round to Cannonier. This is the thing, and to be fair on the judges, because people just bag the judges, but we're watching it here on a screen, and it's quite removed.
Yep.
We don't get to see, like, the sound that it's making, like the thudding sound, if it was a thudding sound or a slapping sound, the reaction of Rob or Cannonier in real time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, watching a fight when you're real close like that is completely different to watching it like this. So, man, I wouldn't judge. I think the judging is so fucking hard. You were offered to do some judging for boxing, and you didn't do it.
Yeah, I same with even reffing and footy and stuff like that. I feel, I don't know, I'm a terrible person like that, where I can let maybe emotions get involved. If you're a dickhead, then I don't know, I might give you a penalty.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
And the same with judging. I'm just not. I would want to make sure that I can detach myself totally from the fights, and I don't know if I could do that. Get emotionally involved in the way someone acts or something like that. I'm just not that type of person. I might try it and see how I go, but I could fucking terribly get it wrong and have some people angry.
So hard, man. It's such a difficult thing to do, the scoring and the judging and the reffing and all that. It's so hard. I don't know. I couldn't do it. We do have a lot of international viewers here. I love it, man.
Surprisingly, how many
so
we get.
Cool.
Yeah,
it's so cool. Duchess says you don't like ground and pound. I don't know where that came from.
Like someone ground and pounding me, I wouldn't like it.
I don't like being ground and pounded.
Yeah.
Gaethje's walking in, yep.
Yes. Please, guys, your thoughts on this fight as well.
Yeah, tell us what you think, man. Tell us what you think and how. We love the interaction is what we're after. We really like it, you know what I mean? Man, it's going to be interesting.
Like I said, I was set that the last one we did where we spoke about this fight, I was set that the proof was in the pudding, everything that Khabib's done. Do you know what I mean? He's continuously taken people down. He's proved it in the cage. Gaethje hasn't proved his wrestling defense in the cage or even his offense or his wrestling in the cage at all. So I was sort of set on that. But the more and more I've thought about it and that now, I feel like if he can just nullify it, because Khabib's had a lot of fights where he hasn't finished it. He's, do you know what I mean, grinded out that win. Or on the other half of the ones that he has finished, people have like, they've crushed. They've not given up, but do you know what I mean? They've given in to what he's doing. You know, they've given in to the wrestle. They've given in to the grappling. Justin Gaethje is not going to give in. Do you know what I mean? He's not, the dirtier and the messier it gets, the stronger he gets. So he's not going to give up at any stage. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to lay there against the cage or on his back and go, hold on, I'm going to, do you know what I mean? I'm now going to pull guard and just hold on. Like, he's not, or I'm going to give my back and see if there's an opening there. He's not going to do that, I feel.
I think, like I said, if Khabib can put him on his back, then you're going to see the grappling difference. But if not, it's going to be very, very interesting. Where does Roger V says, where does Justin generate so much power from? Like I said, I think a lot of it's God given. Like, he's just naturally hits hard. But then not only does he have a good arm, but he's honed it over years and years and years of pitching and throwing a football, because he was a quarterback and a pitcher. And then he's got a fantastic coach to help polish that all up at the end of it. You know what I mean? So he's blessed with natural raw power and athletic ability, trained that throwing technique, has the genetics to be able to sustain that repetitive action for years and years and years. So he's obviously got very good shoulder and elbow flexibility and strength. And then he's had a fantastic coach and all coaches to help him with that punching. And also, I think one of the good things that he does is that he still throws that punch like he's throwing a ball, and they've enhanced that and not corrected it, which I think is great.
Well, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel that big with a lot of issues. So if it's not affecting you, but some fighters fight with their hands down a little bit more than others. Do you know what I mean? If they're not getting hit, but don't try to fix it. If it becomes a problem, then you need to address it. So if they start, you know what I mean, if their lead hand's down a little bit and they're getting hit with that overhand right, or that right hand's becoming an issue, then you need to address it. But if they're so well at their distancing and being able to use that to their advantage, then you know, because there's also benefits from not having your hands up too. The punches can come from a different angle, where if you're used to that person with their hands up and all their punches are coming from their chin or from up high, then that person that now has their hands down, their jab's coming down from down low. It's a different,
and it gives you a little bit more reach, a little bit more range.
So again, with Justin and his overhand right, a lot of people would say, well, why doesn't he throw it straight, loop it over? Man, it works.
I'll tell you something else that happens with this is people say if it goes longer, if Khabib can't, I'm not saying he can't, but I'm saying if Khabib can't take him down and hold him down, or if he takes him down and Justin pops back up, then the later rounds are going to be harder for Khabib.
Yeah,
that's what people don't understand.
They're going to benefit Justin Gaethje big time.
Yeah, but I don't know that that's what's going to happen here. Khabib is big and strong and good at what he does. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So this is going to be very, very interesting. Khabib has to be the favorite going in, and I think he's a fair bit bigger than Justin A.
Yeah. Yep. I feel it.
You know,
it'd be interesting to see when they're squaring off how much bigger now that the weight cut is over and they've rehydrated and.
But it does affect you, the weight cut, and it will affect him if he can't hold him down. That's what I'm interested in. If he can't hold him down and Justin starts to land the shots, it starts to hurt. But that's one of the things. Like, that's even like, you know, you just saw it then. Like when people are talking about if he lands 4 leg kicks, it's I think 4 leg kicks is a little bit optimistic.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You saw how many leg kicks Cannonier landed.
Yep.
And that didn't, you know, that didn't stop Rob. You have to land a lot of leg kicks.
But again, a 5-rounder, it's going to pay.
It'll pay dividends, but you have to land. Like, if he lands 4 flush calf kicks, perfect ones, then maybe, but no.
Here we go. Oh, we got one, Fab, from Melbourne.
Thank you, Tasman Andrews from Melbourne. Man, I was so nervous, so happy for Rob. Thanks for the commentary, guys. Thank you, man. And thank you for your support, Tasman. You don't understand how much it helps, man. It really, really does. And allows us to be able to keep doing these things, because it's a labor of love. Knowledge is our reward. And Change put, it's time. Very, very good, Change. Thank you. No, thank you so much for everyone, everyone that's supporting and everyone that's watching. I appreciate it. Share it with your friends. Tell your friends. Follow us on Instagram. Like and subscribe, guys. Please like and subscribe. Share it. Do anything you can. Put it up on billboards. Whatever. We need the views. Yes, that's right. Let's see what happens, man. I'm very curious. Like I said, I think there's some interesting things that can happen in this fight. Khabib's going to pressure him.
Yeah, but can he back him up? That's the thing. Will he be able to back up Justin Gaethje?
Thing is, like,
Gaethje he wants to strike.
Yeah,
but there's a large difference between the distance of the calf kicks and then the distance of their striking. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
With their hands. So that's going to be interesting in that as well. What distances are they going to choose to pick? And then there's the distance for the takedown. Because for Khabib to take him down, he'll want to press him up against the cage, yeah? It would be much harder for him to take him down in the center of the cage with
Justin's. Yes and no. Look, Khabib he fought in a ring many times. He fought in Sambo, combat Sambo, which is an open mat. So I think it's a bit of a fallacy that he can't. It's easier for anyone to take someone down against the cage, though.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It's easier for anyone. But that doesn't mean that he can't, and that doesn't mean that's what he's going to want to do, you know what I mean? So let's see. Khabib's a big, thick boy, eh?
He is.
315 favorite. Minus 315 favorite.
I should have put a multi on.
That's a big bet, eh? But you can imagine how many, because he's got 20 million followers or something. There'd be so many people who just.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, he's a huge name, isn't he, over there? Huge.
Where is over there, you xenophobic man?
No. Well, even over in.
See, this is what I deal with.
Abu Dhabi, because they were saying that the last time he fought there, when he fought Dustin Poirier, he couldn't even go out and get something to eat. He couldn't leave his room. Do you know what I mean? Why now that with the COVID restrictions and that, he's actually had less pressure where he can. Do you know what I mean? He's in the bubble, so he doesn't have so many people trying to flock him. Is it possible for Justin to give a knee to the head when Khabib tries to take him down? It's possible. I don't know if it's probable. And the thing is, Justin's wild too, so he can. I think there's going to be a lot of. Okay, we're off. Round 1, 457. Justin is holding the center of the cage. Khabib is kind of trying to get his timing in. They're both bouncing backwards and forwards. Justin's kind of fainting a little bit. He's nice and low. He's fainting. They're both kind of sizing each other up. Justin throws inside left leg kick and connects just below the knee. It wasn't particularly hard, but it's putting Khabib on notice. Plus, it's also finding that range.
Yeah.
Which is super important, as we've said so many times. So that will be interesting to see who finds their range first and what range they want to fight at.
Now Khabib's holding the center more, and he's kind of slowly working Justin thing. Justin kind of feinted a leg kick, turned. He wound up on it a little bit.
What is it? It's that game of inches now.
Yeah.
If you can start to back them up inch by inch, eventually they're going to have their back against the cage.
Justin's staying nice and low. Ooh, another leg kick landed by Justin. He's hitting with a lead leg. Ooh, big right hand by Justin.
That's that looping right
through the jab to the body.
Still pressing forward, Khabib.
Yep. Justin's hands are low and he's nice and low. He's almost in a wrestling crouch. Almost in a wrestling stance.
Do you think that's because he's worried of the takedown?
I think he knows that that's what's coming if it's there. But now Khabib is backing him into the cage. Justin's circling off the cage. They're very erratic, these two. They're like, this is not going the distance, I don't think. No. Oh, another big leg kick landed by Justin. Right hand returned by Khabib. Another leg kick now. Khabib got the clinch and he's out. Now Justin throws it. Khabib's back in the clinch.
Doing very well.
And he's backing him up. He's backing Justin up now. He's backing him up. He threw a jab, backed him up. Justin's winging big shots. And Khabib's throwing jabs. Justin's winging the shots. Khabib's landing the jabs.
1-2.
Oh, 1-2 and a big right hand landed by Justin. It kind of.
That's where it's dangerous. That
yeah,
right
another leg kick landed by Justin. Jab thrown by Khabib. A shovel punch thrown by Khabib. But they're missing. But these guys are winging. They're going for the fences. Another jab landed by Khabib. Big right hand thrown by Justin. And he's kind of bobbing and weaving nice and low. And he's running to get off the cage. Very smart. Ooh, nice left knee thrown by Khabib. But Justin took him more on the arms.
Still going forward.
Another big leg kick landed by Justin. Khabib just keeps coming forward with the pressure. Threw a jab and a right hand. Justin throws an uppercut.
But this is where you see Justin and he's dangerous.
Yes. Left kick thrown by Justin. Khabib took it on the arms. Justin's running away, so he's not caught in the middle. A lot of energy expenditures by both these guys, I think.
And this first round. Nice 1-2 from Khabib.
Yeah. Khabib's now starting to throw a few combinations in there, starting to land the punches. Justin's looking a little bit erratic. Looks like he's breathing rather hard, eh?
He does. But
I don't know if that's just Justin.
Yeah, because he's looked like that before and he looks tired and he just keeps going and keeps going. But
Khabib's landing the jabs.
Good job.
Threw a leg kick himself, Khabib.
Just keeping that pressure on him.
Another leg kick landed by Justin. Right hand landed by Khabib.
That left hook, he
threw a right hand left hook by Justin. Lands on Khabib. Now Khabib's tying him up almost in a 2-on-1. And Justin throws a little left hand over the top. Big right kick landed by Justin on the legs again.
They're going to start the way.
Now they're clinching. They're clinching and they're fighting in the clinch. Right hand over the top. Clubbing right hand by Justin. Left hook by Justin. Khabib throws a straight right. Now he landed a left hook on Khabib. Khabib's come forward. Another right kick landed by Justin. Big double leg shot in by Khabib. And he's got Justin. He's got the legs wrapped up. Justin's got his back against the cage.
This is where
Khabib's wrapped his legs up.
Very familiar this here.
Yeah. But so he's passed. He's almost past the guard. There's 25 seconds to go.
Round, I don't feel like he's in too much
He's in smash pass now. He's in a smash pass. And he's got Justin on his back. Now he's gone to full mount. He's in full mount. There's a massive difference in their grappling. Huge. Like I said to you before, if he gets Justin on his back. Now he's going for the armbar. It's 10 seconds to go. He's got a bicep crush on Justin now.
Yep.
He's hitting big shots to the body. It's going to go. Yep. Okay. And that's the thing I was saying to you before. Like the big discrepancy, the massive discrepancy is going to be on the ground if Khabib can put him on his back. And that to me is a very, very interesting. This is what I think, anyways. Is what I thought before. I don't think Justin's stand-up's a lot better than Khabib's, but I think where the massive difference is if Khabib takes him to the ground and is able to put him on his back. And now he's shown that he can.
Justin's breathing heavy.
Very heavy. He's expended a lot of energy because Khabib's coming forward.
Yep.
So, yeah. I think...
what do you feel Justin needs to do in this second round?
I think he's doing what he can do. It's just, can he keep Khabib off him?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't... Because Khabib is doing a great, fantastic job. And sometimes, it's like, what can Justin do? Like, look at what he's doing. He's landing big shots on Khabib, and Khabib's just got a granite head. The takedown came pretty easy. Khabib's not breathing hard at all. Justin looks like he's breathing pretty hard. If Khabib gets an early takedown, then Justin's going to be in a world of trouble. There's something here as well, like the power's diminishing from the strikes, and I think Khabib can feel it.
Yep. First round, Khabib?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I agree.
The pressure coming forward is full. Ooh, nice little check hook on the chin. Right kick by Khabib and followed up by a 1-2.
Justin's a little bit of blood from the nose.
Yeah, and moving backwards. And again, like I said, I don't think that Khabib's stand-up is not as good as Justin's. I think it's as good. He throws another jab. Khabib's going to set up the takedown soon. Another jab by Khabib. He's jabbing up nice and high and he's standing nice and tall. They kind of look a little scrambled in. Justin threw a right hand. Khabib's looking very relaxed, holding the center. Justin, another big kick landed on Khabib. That one landed.
And there's already a bit of red there on that calf.
Yeah, that was another left kick landed by Justin. Another kick landed by Justin, but Khabib now is deep in a double. He's taking his back. No, it's done. I think it's going to be done. Now he's got full mount, and he's 347 left, and he's got a head arm almost in there. Justin's in a lot of trouble here.
Oh, and he's going straight for a submission.
Straight for a submission, triangle. He's got the triangle. Unusual. It's deep. Triangle is deep.
Very deep.
Very deep, very deep. He's not going to get out of this. No way in the world. He's tapped. It's over.
Wow.
Is he tapped?
Yeah. Khabib's just held on to it. And
Justin's asleep.
But he did tap and he didn't let go. He's apologising. He mustn't have realised he tapped. But wow.
Well, Justin is a wild man. You don't know if he's punching you or
not.
Yeah. Fantastic fight.
Wow. How about him going for a submission on top, in mount, and he goes for a triangle? That's crazy. His grappling is something special then.
But that's where the difference was always going to be.
Because as a coach, you'd be like, you're in a perfect position. 3 rounds, like with 3 minutes in the bank, like you're back. Very emotional. Khabib now, obviously. Yeah.
And Justin speaking to him, consoling him.
Very nice. Nice show of respect there from Justin going over. So he's fine, but coming over and a very emotional Khabib, as you would be. Do you know what I mean? Fuck, he looked good.
Is Khabib the best lightweight of all time now? I think he's the best fighter of all time.
Yeah.
I think he's the best of anyone that put on gloves,
He was a man on a mission, wasn't he? But not like that any other time he's not on that fucking mission, but he just, I don't know. He impressed me even more. Oh, them leg kicks are bad. But look there, just straight to the back. Bit of a half cut, straight to the mount. So he tried setting this up straight away. Didn't even throw a strike. Grabbed that wrist.
He had the armbar as well there.
Yep.
He had the armbar and the triangle. What a monster. But that is where the difference is going to be if you put Justin on his back,
Yep. But then do you know what I mean? To go for that triangle and then give up that top position, it's dangerous. Because if you're not 100% on that triangle and they escape, a little bit of sweat.
I think he was.
But he had that arm.
That triangle couldn't be tighter.
Wow. What's next? What's next for Khabib? I know people say George St. Pierre, but how old is George St. Pierre?
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that. For me,
41.
As a fan, I would like to see it, but I don't think, I don't know, it doesn't have the same thing as him 4 years ago.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't know who's left that. He's
got to go up, yeah. He's finding it hard to make the weight cuts. He would have to go up.
He made the weight.
He made the weight, but he must be finding it hard. Did he make the weight, Fab? Did he?
Oh, you go tell him he didn't. You go tell him he didn't.
I'll send him a message.
I
hope he never visits Australia.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
I found that incredible. He was
Khabib versus Cejudo, yeah. Khabib could never make that. Yeah.
If Cejudo goes up to lightweight, he'll be dead.
GSP isn't making 155. No, he isn't, but I think a catch weight maybe. Potentially.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's left a lightweight?
There's who Connor's fighting Dustin Poirier, and then
You know what? It doesn't interest me that
It
much.
doesn't interest me either. But trust me, there is a billion people out there that will pay money to watch it.
But I'm talking about me.
That's what interests the UFC is.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? It would interest Khabib and it would interest Conor as well because the amount of money. Tony time. Well, Tony needs to go back and I think get a win, doesn't he? And prove himself.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's what I feel for
I
Tony.
don't think that Khabib will fight. I think Oz here is right. Like, I don't think he'll fight in another weight because, and one, he said it, and two, I think it's one of those things where he's very, very dominant and he'll lose a lot of his advantages.
Yep. Going
into welterweight, like he'll lose a lot of the size, the ability to out grapple people like that, the lever advantage and that.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was. Like, I thought that he would beat Justin up on the ground more, but no, yeah.
Very impressed.
Oh, it was his last fight apparently.
Why is he saying this now? Wow.
You know what, man? I'm
not super surprised either, but I'm happy too. I love seeing fighters go out like this. Greatness. Do you know what I mean? 29-0. He's obviously done this for his father. I'm sure he'd be talking about that. And I'm sure he's still got a lot of things to accomplish back home.
100%. Like fighting's just one thing.
Yeah. So. Yeah, what a way to go. 100% what a way to go.
Yeah.
And
like, how long are you going to do it for? You know what I mean? And then you don't want to see him.
This makes me happy.
Yeah,
it should be sad. I'm sad because I won't see it again, but it actually makes me super happy to see someone go out like that, not try to keep going on. He went out on top. He will be remembered as one of the best ever. There's always going to be arguments on who is the greatest ever, but man, he's 29-0 and fought the best. So, congratulations on a great career and
fucking wow. Yeah, I'm actually really happy to see him retire, man.
Yeah.
I'm really happy because I just think, like, he's done everything, man, and people don't get it, man. It's not a joke. It's like your fucking health, man. So I'm really, really happy.
How much would them gloves go for?
Dozens of dollars. Dozens.
No, man. Super happy for him. He's earned plenty of money. He'd have money in the bank. He's still young.
Yeah.
Got his health. Dude, he's got a great life in front of him. A great life. So, congrats.
I'm really happy, actually.
Yeah, I am as
well. You don't want to see people.
I like that.
I don't like seeing when they're older and
it's like a movie with a happy ending.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Yeah. You do a lot of things with happy endings, don't you, Eli? You're quite famous for that. I'd like my podcast to stay clean and PG rated, please. So yeah, no, that was what I thought, man. As like, if you got him on his back, it would be a massive difference, Yeah.
That's the only, I'm talking about PG. That's the only reason I haven't eaten this banana. I'm absolutely starving, but I went eating a banana on Grange TV. No, I better save it till after the fights.
I was gonna say to you with this though, like, when I said to you, what's next? Because I honestly have that feeling of like, what's next? Because anything he does afterwards is only for other people.
Yeah.
Like, he's got as much money as he wants.
Mm.
He's always said that. It's for Conor's
benefit.
For Conor's benefit or for the UFC's benefit, which I don't begrudge them. They should have theirs as well. But it's not for his benefit. He's bashed everyone.
Yeah.
And he literally has bashed everyone.
Man, I'm so happy for him. So happy for his team. So, what's next for Justin? I'm not sure. Makes things interesting again in the lightweight, but
yeah, very interesting. I think very interesting in the lightweight division.
Because now we have Tony, Connor, obviously Justin, and a lightweight belt up for grabs.
Fucking wow. Oh, there's Chandler as well. Michael Chandler.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, he's in there as well, you know what I mean? So there's a lot, maybe Hamzat can go down into lightweight too. You know, so that's a really interesting division now.
So it's quite similar to when, I guess, Jones, Jermaine, left the light heavyweight. It opens it up for everyone else, and it makes things sort of interesting again. Always interesting, but I feel like, you know what I mean, they were both very dominant champions. Who's your favourite lightweight of all time?
Have to be, like, I think it'd have to be Khabib, but there's a lot of, like, I've got a lot of favourite lightweights, so for a lot of different reasons. It's hard to separate, you know what I mean, of all time. I don't know. What about yourself?
BJ Penn, man.
Yeah, BJ Penn.
Then when why come back? Why? Yeah. The people, if you've only been a fight fan for the last 5 years, they would go, BJ Penn, what are you on about? But they didn't know BJ Penn when he was BJ Penn.
But I liked a lot of the fight. Like, I liked Melendez. I like Gilbert Melendez a lot as Gilbert a lightweight, you know, especially in Strikeforce and that. But yeah, like I don't. Yeah, I can't pick one. There's so many, you know. Fucking wow. Okay. Guys, we're going to stay on for a little bit. If you guys got any questions or anything you want to add or anything you want to say, anything you want to, whatever, please do so. Absolutely amazing. Grange TV, what is Rob's weight when he's not in fight camp? I don't know now, but before, you know, I think it's not a secret. He's said it before. It's been said on the podcast. So 96, 97 kilos, which is north of 210, like 94, anywhere between 94 and 97 kilos. So that's, yeah.
Strong.
Yeah, big strong
for
boy,
that
mate.
size,
Big strong boy.
Yeah.
He's not a big fat boy walking around. He's big strong guy. Yeah, and that's it. So, guys, thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for you know, being here and watching the fights with us and sharing this and posting and interacting. You know, it makes watching the funds for us great. The fights great for us. Do you think there's any chance Khabib would return for the GSP fight? I don't think so. If he retired, I mean, like I don't know, because I think Khabib's a guy that is not motivated just by money. He's motivated by whatever motivates him, you know. And I think that he's achieved the things that were his driving forces leading into that. So I don't know that the GSP fight in and of itself would motivate him, unless GSP, who's 41, cuts down to 155, runs through everyone at lightweight, maybe, but I don't think so. I think that this is something that I think in a way this fight was probably even forced on him by himself, you know, as in, like, he probably might not have even wanted to fight, you know what I mean? Like, even this fight. Because for you to know that this is your last fight, you're already not wanting to fight. Interesting interview with Cormier on Monday saying Khabib has no interest in Conor as he doesn't want to go through all the negativity, trash talking stuff. Yeah, I agree. Like, I think that you're going to pay someone money at the end of the day to fight you so that they can say, to me, honestly, that's me. I don't even watch that stuff anymore, man. I don't even know. Like, I don't find it funny. I don't find, like, saying shit about people's religions and families and stuff. Like, I don't find that funny. I find it disgusting, and I think it's fucking foul. I think that in any other workplace or in any other situation, you'd be sanctioned and fired. You know what I mean? Like, it's abuse, it's harassment, it's bullying, it's fucking disgusting. So I'm glad that he's not taking the fight. It's just so stupid, man. Like, the stuff that people are saying and where it's going to now, and then, like, why would you subject yourself?
What will you do for $1?
Yeah, why would you?
That's what it is.
Why would you go
do
there
for
and let somebody talk shit about your family and that
couple
for
extra
money?
$1 million?
Yeah, when you don't need to. Well, fair enough if you have to. You're coming up like the first time and you have to put up with it or whatever. But now in his position where he doesn't have to, why would you go and let somebody say shit about your family or your religion or whatever? What for? Fuck him. Good. I think that's amazing that Khabib did that. Yeah. So,
all right.
No worries, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.